Oh. Hi? Am I? Oops. Sorry, Hi, everyone! I guess I shouldn't touch things on OBS that I don't know what they do. I'm like, what does cut mean? And it just, like, literally just cut. Sorry if anyone was listening to Notorious by Duran Duran, but welcome everyone to the 100th stream. Oh my god, that was probably the best start of a stream that I've ever had. I guess I was getting like a little like bored just like waiting here for like the music to like wrap up, so I was just like, oh, what does this do? Like if I hit cut, like what if I just press that button and it's like, oh, that's what it does. Instead of like doing the fading transition like this, it just goes blip. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Love JBK, what's up? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I went very strawberry today. very pink, very strawberry. Guys, look how long my hair has gotten, right? I've been working on growing my hair out, and it's just like, it's so nice. I told you guys I have like naturally curly hair. This is natural. Like this is just what my hair looks like when I like let it grow out. I just got it trimmed not too long ago, like a few days ago. Yeah, I think it was like Monday, literally. I got it trimmed, and I'm probably never gonna do that again. But it looks nice and everything. It's all cleaned up and everything. The hair is out of my eyes. So I did get a trim, but I'm probably never gonna do it again because it costs like $30 just for like a lady to like just take some scissors to my hair for like 5 minutes. So I'm probably just going to let it grow out until like it gets to like the length that I want it to, and then I'm going to like get an actual haircut. So this is probably like the last time I'm probably going to show off my natural hair in something like this, in like a stream or like a featured video or whatever. I don't even think I've done one video with my natural hair. That was a Cutie Spectives interview, and I guess that was the last time I had my hair out like that. Cutie Spectives. Hang on. So from before we start like getting into things, I didn't have any plans for my 100th stream. So I'm calling this my 100th stream special because this is literally the 100th time I went live on Twitch, which is awesome. You guys probably can only see like the last 99. The first stream that I ever did was a test stream, and the only remnants of that ever existing now is the announcement that I made on TikTok. I don't think I posted that to Instagram. I posted it a couple places that I was doing like a test stream, but I do technically count that as like my first stream because it went flawless. And so like the announcement for that stream and a clip that Jay made the first time I streamed for the intro of that stream where it's like kind of like creepy or whatever. Jay clipped that on Twitch, so you can see the clip. Not even any of the gameplay or anything else. Like, that stream is completely lost. Unfortunately, but like if you guys check out the archive channel, like literally every other stream has been uploaded. I always upload on my VOD channel like the next day for these streams. If you guys weren't aware of that, I don't know like if everyone's aware of that or not. I don't know, but nevertheless, that makes today's stream the 100th stream I have done. So it's kind of like a celebration, but I didn't really have anything prepared. So I just wanted to like come out and like do a 100th stream before Weentober and stuff. And speaking of Weentober, I am going to like make the kind of semi-official announcement today during this stream. You guys don't have to wait too long. I am going to like get to that in a bit. But first of all, I guess like the main thing that we're going to be doing is just like reflecting on like some of the things that I've done, like content creation wise, and like talk to you guys more about like what my plans are for the future of not only the channel but like in my personal life and everything, and tell you guys like what's been going on with me. Because I don't know if you guys have like checked out Instagram. I do write like little like paragraphs in every Instagram post, updating you guys on things that are happening, what's going on in my life, how I'm feeling in the moment. So if you guys have been keeping up with that, you may have noticed me like not being as optimistic as I normally am. And we can get to that later. I will like come clean about a lot of things in this stream. I don't like to be like a downer individual or anything, but these are important things in my life, and I feel like I should be as transparent with everyone as possible. So before we get into that, all that, real quick, I was mentioning that like the last time I had my hair out was when I first started like growing it out. So like I had
This is now that you
also not there it is. I had my what was it, a pixie cut, and I really like this haircut, but right now I'm growing it out because my fiance, that was the last time I actually got like a full haircut and I recolored it, and then my fiance is like, you should grow it out. And I'm like, all right, fine. So like my current goal is to like shoulder length hair. And I kind of want to like look for something like a wolf cut, kind of. Not exactly like a Hemi cut or anything, but I do want like the bangs still like clean and everything and out of my face, while the rest like just have it grow out. And I think that would be really cute, especially like in pink and everything. But that was like literally the last time. I think it was the last time. There might have been a stream where like I had my like natural hair, so this is probably like the last time most people saw my hair, how it was and everything. Yeah, this is how it looks now. Sorry, I don't know if that's like a tangent or anything. But no, shut up. Shut me. I don't know if that's a tangent or anything, but it was like something that just propped up in my mind to like talk about. Other things to talk about, like, oh man, I've just been obsessed with like some of the TV shows that have been like coming out lately. Like, I don't know if anyone's been keeping up with like South Park or Peacemaker or Gen V, but those were like the top 3 TV shows that I'm consuming right now, and they're all fantastic. Like, I am really excited for like each new episode that's coming out, and I'm really happy that there's a lot of new things out. I did start on Alien Earth, but I need to finish it. It was a great first episode though. I really enjoyed it. I'm also looking forward to Welcome to Dreary, the It TV show. So like that's mostly what I've been consuming lately, aside from like the usual films and everything. I've been watching a lot of screwed up horror movies. But we'll get to that in a minute too. While that is being said, how about I just show you guys what I am working on right now. And here is the official announcement of Weentober 5. Alright! Woo! I don't know if anyone like cares. Really, but yeah, Weentober 5 is happening, and as you can see, it is the final chapter. Now necessarily like I wanted this to be kind of like a tongue-in-cheeky kind of reference, because usually when horror media is depicted as being like the final chapter, like that's the subtitle and everything, it's usually not the last film in the franchise, you know? Friday the 13th, which is like what heavily inspired like the theme this month. Even Five Nights at Freddy's like had the final chapter in their fourth. The fourth Five Nights at Freddy's was the final chapter, but they kept going. So it's a very common like trope in horror media to like call something the final chapter, but then like later they just keep making them. Because it's like a final, it's like a popular franchise or whatever, and they want to milk it for as much as they can, even if like the filmmakers are like, this is the last one, we're not gonna make any more, and then Hollywood's just like, no, we're gonna keep making them. But the theme for this year is 80s horror. Slashers. That was 80s were like the golden age of slasher films. Also like 80s is like very like big in like modern day horror even. So like a lot of what I'm doing this year is going to be like reflective of like 80s horror in particular, and I'm really excited. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a fan of the 80s like pop culture and everything, like the movements in horror media and everything it's so inspiring to me seeing like that stuff. And I love like a lot of horror films that came out of the 80s. So like this was like a no-brainer for like to theme this Weentober after that. I know like the first kind of 3 Weentobers weren't really a theme. But if you guys remember last year, the theme was like the golden age of cinema in general and like the birth of sound. So like I was basing a lot of that Weentober, like the visuals and everything, off of like 1930s horror films, like black and white era and stuff. Like I had the introduction to each stream being like the Frankenstein the Frankenstein monologue, and that was really fun and everything. But this year, you guys already just saw that's the intro that's going to happen each Weentober stream, and also every Weentober video, because I'm making videos again on my YouTube channel, guys. There's going to be a brand new scripted, well, most of them are scripted. One of them's not unscripted. One of them is unscripted, I should say. One of them is unscripted, but the majority of them are scripted videos, and they're all talking about horror media. I'm going to be doing another 5 films you should watch this October, so like more horror recommendations. There's going to be a new anime review. If you guys remember like my old anime reviews, I wanted to resurrect that concept, that the what do you call it? The structure of that video is what of those videos, that video type is like, I really like that video type, so I'm going to be returning to that as well. So we're going to get another one of those. If you've seen my my Dress Up Darling, Spy X Family, and my Oni Mai reviews, it's going to be something along those lines, but it's going to be over a horror anime. I guess I could say what horror anime it is. It's going to be School Live. You guys already know, like, I've talked about that. Oh my god, I don't know how many times I've talked about that anime. I made it an S tier on my horror anime tier lists. I cosplay Yuki Takeya from the show as well. So I've talked about and like I've expressed my love for the show multiple times. I actually have, you can see the special edition box set right here. I love School Live, and it's really cool that it's really cool to have another opportunity to like share with you guys that anime, because I'm going to go more in depth of why I love the anime and why it's a fantastic freaking anime, and you guys should totally check it out. And hopefully it reaches more people, so like more people can see that anime, because like I love it and I know a lot of people would love it too. Beside from those two, another one is going to be me talking about more modern horror films. Like you guys know the recommendation videos. They're more along the lines of like any video from any time. Just whatever like movies I like, I'm going to like talk about at the time. So like there's going to be like both modern and older classic horror films that I'm going to be talking about that. But there's going to be a video dedicated to films that have been released in the 2020s so far. So like the films in the past 5 years is what that video is going to be talking about, and I'm really excited for that one too, because there's been a lot of really good horror films to come out of this last decade so far. And I'm really excited to share with you guys my thoughts on like some of these films. I'm not going to spoil exactly what films I'm going to be talking about, but it's going to be like a top 10 countdown kind of thing. And I think I'm planning on it being just a voiceover thing, because I don't really know how to like make a video like that, like with me like showing up on camera. Like I do know obviously how to like make a video like that, just like I feel like it's better for a viewer experience to just have like things like footage like being shown from the film, instead of like someone like popping up and like making a quick like quip or something. Like, it's kind of cringe, you know? But that's like a lot of my content anyways. I just want to like show you guys, I guess. Why don't I just be showing you guys like some of this stuff? So yeah, this is obviously going to be the final chapter. This October, Wayne is finally laid to rest, right? It's silly, it's tongue-in-cheeky, but it is going to be the final chapter. I should probably express this, that this will be the last time I'm doing Weentober, at least for the time being. I have no plans to like return to making anything with Weentober next year. So for the time being, this is the final chapter, but also like it might not be the final chapter, who knows? Just like with any horror media that like calls itself the final chapter. But I'm also going to be continuing my 13 days of screaming, as you can see at the end there. So there's not only is there going to be a new YouTube video every week, like a brand new one. It's not going to be a compilation or anything. I'm also going to be doing my 13 days of screaming that I did last year. So I'm going to be streaming 13 days throughout October. It's not going to be my regular stream schedule. It's going to be like how it was last year. Last year I did it was 13 days, but instead of like starting at 12 like I do like here now, it's going to be at like 6 p.m. So it's going to be later in the day. So hopefully more people can show up for those. So every Monday I'm going to be streaming a different horror game, and I'm going to be playing it to the end. So these 4 games is going to be Limbo, Post Trauma, Night Trap, and Lollipop Chainsaw. So all these games I've never played before. I've always been excited about all these. I played a little bit of Limbo when it first came out, but I think I was like a teenager or something. I was still like in school when Limbo came out, and I don't really remember much of it. I know I'd never beat it, but I'm going to try my best to like beat it on stream that day and everything. The following Monday is going to be Post Trauma. I've been talking about that game with you guys for so long. That was supposed to be the third Weentober. I was supposed to play that game instead of Homebody. But because Homebody came out and Post Trauma didn't, I ended up playing Homebody, obviously. But then even the next Weentober, I was like, oh man, if Post Trauma comes out, I'm definitely playing for this Weentober. But it didn't, again, come out in time. So like I played other games. I can't remember what other game like replaced Post Trauma. But I just like wrote it off because it didn't come out. It actually finally came out this year. So I'm going to be playing it for October this year. And I'm going to be playing the full game like in the single sitting. Hopefully, I get through to the end without having to go super far past like midnight or anything. Next one is Night Trap. The following Monday is going to be Night Trap. So like, this was actually a a game that was recommended to me by my fiance. I know a lot about Night Trap and everything. I'm not really looking forward to it. It's probably going to be really frustrating, but hey, that's kind of the humor of it. Plus, I did discover recently that the FMV footage in Night Trap was recorded in the 80s. So it kind of fits the theme of this year too. And then the final Monday, I'm going to be playing Lollipop Chainsaw, which is a game that I've been wanting to play for so freaking long. Ever since it first came out, the original. I'm playing like the Repop version the last Monday in October. So this Weentober is going to feature Lollipop Chainsaw, and I'm really excited about that because I love games like that. You guys know me. I like my character action games. I like Devil May Cry and everything like that. I didn't really like Crystar, but that's not the fault of the genre, honestly. Every Thursday is going to be what I call the anthology horror streams. So if you guys like remember like DVD packs, like having like multiple like low budget horror films inside of them. I actually have one of those. Here. One of these, something like this. I don't know if anyone knows about these, but like, look at this. This is the Miramax Horror Collection. It's got 10 movies, and I think it has like plus 2 bonus movies, which I've seen all the movies on here. They all suck. They got Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection, which are like the worst Halloween films. They got Dracula 2000 and the sequel, Dracula 2 Ascension, which Wes Craven presents, but it wasn't like made by Wes Craven. Yeah, I'll just go full screen for this because I'm just reading off a back of a DVD case. They got the worst 2 Hellseekers in the series. They got the first 2 Prophecy films, which I don't know if you guys seen the Prophecy films with God, what's his name? Christopher Walken. They're not good. They're not good. And then you have Interview with a Serial Killer and The Legend of Sorrow Creek, which are 2 low-budget indie films that are really bad. So, if you guys don't remember these little collections, there were VHS tapes and DVDs that did things like this. It was very common for distributors to like put out collections like this that are like horror collection, very spooky stuff, and it has like a bunch of like royalty free, like copyright free like films and everything. So like it's just like a pack of like things that you can just easily find online, like uploaded to YouTube nowadays. But this was like a big thing, especially in like the 80s, 90s, and even going into like the 2000s. I'm pretty sure like there's still companies who make collections like this to this day. I didn't buy this myself. I don't buy these kind of collections. They are usually really bad. This was actually given to me as a gift for a birthday, I think my senior year of high school, because one of my friends knew that I liked movies and I liked horror movies as well, so like they just got me this for my birthday. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, alright. And I watched all of these movies and they're all really bad. But that is what the idea of the Thursday streams came from. Not only do I get the opportunity to play like multiple games in one stream, the first Thursday is going to be like NES horror games, so I'm going to be playing NES like horror games, which are notoriously pretty bad. The majority of them are like by like LJN. If you guys aren't aware of that company, they were a video game developer or publisher, I think. They only focused on making games that were licensed, and they're all very bad. None of them are really good. I I don't think I've played a single good LJN game. I think Spider-Man. There was a Spider-Man game for the Super Nintendo. I think it was the Carnage game for the Super Nintendo. It was like a beat 'em up. I've heard that that one's pretty good. There's people who like the Punisher for the NES, and that's also by LJN. I played that game. I didn't like it. But so my perspective of LJN is they're like a really bad game developer, and they're very notorious for being that as well. So I'm not alone in in that thought. But I'm going to be playing some NES games. I think they're going to be all NES games that were based on an 80s horror film, but the game also simultaneously released in the 80s. So you kind of see what I'm going for with the anthology horror games. The creepypastas is the next Thursday. I'm going to be playing some creepypasta games. I'm going to be reading to you guys like some of the origin of like the creepypasta and everything. So I'm going to be reading actual creepypastas and then playing the games that are based on those creepypastas, which I used to love doing when I was a kid. I used to do that all the time in high school. I was really into like SCP and like creepypasta stuff, and like especially like creepypastas based on video games. And nowadays they're really kind of like cringy, so it's kind of gonna be fun as well. After that, I'm going to be doing like a live 3 random games. I kind of did that with Pride Plays Love this year. I did like 3 Pride games, but this year I'm going to be doing 3 random horror games, and they're not necessarily random, I would say, but they don't really have much in common. That's kind of why I call it like 3 random games. And that's a series that I really loved doing back on my YouTube channel, so I always wanted to like return to it in some aspect. This year I am doing some 3 random games like on the 3rd Thursday. The last Thursday I'm going to be doing something incredibly special and very different, and hopefully you guys like check it out. I'm actually going to be reading and playing games. Reading about and playing games that have disturbing backstories. So I already have like the games picked out and everything. And I'm going to be like discussing with you guys like what made the development of this game so disturbing. That's like something that I've been really like obsessed with kind of recently, was like finding things with like disturbing like I mean, I kind of always been like into that, honestly. I liked hearing about cursed films and then watching said cursed films. So here, you guys like want some music too? It feels very quiet. There we go. Is that good? That's probably good. I actually made this mix for Weentober. It's kind of like my my normal like background music that I have when I'm like go full screen. So it's something like that, but like I made it like a little spooky. So that's that's going to be, this is going to be like the stream music that I have like during Weentober. I also have the overlay. It's going to be like this, so it's going to be really cool. I'm going to be playing some horror games like this. But yeah, I've been kind of like obsessed with games with like disturbing backgrounds, and like I've always been kind of obsessed with like cursed films, or like films that had like a crazy kind of production story. And it's kind of unavoidable when you make art. Like you can't like avoid things that happen in real life. But every Saturday is going to be a double feature. That's like another like thing that like spawned from like, I don't know if it's like spawned from the 80s, but it's I note it as like being like a real interesting piece of like horror stuff, you know. is like the double creature feature, you know? If you go to like the drive-in, even nowadays, there's a drive-in not too far from us, and you can buy a ticket and you pay for 2 movies. So it's a double feature of like one movie and then the next movie back to back. But this time, every Saturday, which is a week from now, so Weentober is like just around the corner, dude. October is like on its way. Every Saturday, I'm first going to be playing Resident Evil 7, and then I'm going to move to Resident Evil 8 after I finish the number 7. Cause 1, the new Resident Evil is coming out, 9, and 2, these are the only 2 Resident Evil games, aside from 0 and, God, what was the other one? It had a weird name. I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. But those are like the only ones I haven't played. I've never played 7 and 8, so I'm excited to be playing it this year because last year I played 5 with Blondie, and that was another one that I'd never played through before. I still need to rewatch that VOD to like understand what the heck was going on in that game because I was drunk. But I'm going to be completely sober for this year when I play 7 and 8. And I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully you guys are as well. On October 30th, Kai and I are going to once again doing our Drunk Halloween countdown. But this time, it's not just going to be a Just Chatting stream. We're actually going to be watching some horror films with you guys. Like actual freaking horror films. Like, I'm so excited about that. We're going to be watching some really bad, just really bad public domain horror films. A lot of them, the majority of them are going to be black and white and everything. That's just because, like, of the times. There was a weird period in cinema when copyright was like becoming like more prevalent, and a lot of things ended up inevitably getting just shoved into the public domain. I'll talk a little bit, or I don't know if I'm going to talk a little bit about it on the day, or I'm going to have like stuff on screen. I think I'm going to have like little pieces of trivia about the film and how it ended up in the public domain as we're watching the films. So like, because I'm going to be drunk, obviously, and I'm probably not going to be coherent or even remember to like tell you guys that, but it's going to like finally be like another drunk stream. I know I haven't had one in a while, but I haven't actually been drinking a whole lot recently, which is a good thing, you know, because like I think at one point I was like drinking so much, like I was drinking not every day, but like almost every other day, and it was kind of starting to become like an issue. So like I did like step back from alcohol for a little bit. So now I drink it like very, very rarely, not even occasionally at this point. But maybe my tolerance has gone down, so who knows? I think I'm going to be drinking wine that night. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything super hard. I do want to watch some of these films because some of these films I haven't seen before. The films are going to be The Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price, which is what, it was based on the same book that the film I Am Legend with Will Smith was based on. So it's basically I Am Legend, but instead of Will Smith, it's Vincent Price, which is awesome. And I've never seen it before, so I'm happy to be watching it. Also, the original Little Shop of Horrors, before it even came a musical, we're going to be watching that as well. The original Little Shop of Horrors, and it's well known for being Jack Nicholson's first role in a film, I believe. So he plays like a small part in it. There's no music, unfortunately, like the musical thing. What's it called? Remake? Yeah, the musical remake that was in the 80s or 90s. I think it was made in the 90s. I can't remember. I literally watched it for the first time last year. Even though I have watched the original though before. But one that I haven't watched that I've really wanted to watch for a long time is Manos, the Hand of Fate, which is going to be the third film that we watch. And I heard that is a notorious film for being one of the worst horror films, or one of the worst films in general ever made. So I'm really excited about that. Oh my god, I watched like a few clips and everything, just like because I was doing the research on like what films are we going to actually be watching, and I saw a few clips from it. Oh my god, it looks so bad. And the last film is another notorious film for being considered one of the worst films ever made, and this one's actually really popular. It's Plan 9 from Outer Space. This one I have watched before. It's been years since I watched it, but it's fantastic, and I couldn't not put that on this list for like films that we're watching, because like it's, oh my god. If you guys haven't seen I think it was a Tim Burton film. They did a biopic on Ed Wood. It's like a live action, but it's like stylized in black and white and everything. It's a really good film, and it does like really showcase like the kind of filmmaker quote unquote that he was, Ed Wood was. I really recommend that, watching that film. It's kind of cool to like watch that film and then go back and watch Plan 9 from Outer Space, because you have more perspective of like the hell that the behind the scenes were of that film. It's great. Ed Wood was fantastic. And as I said, every Wednesday I'm going to be releasing a new video focusing on horror media on my main YouTube channel. So like, I hope you guys are really excited for that. Like I said, there's going to be 5 horror film recommendations. There's going to be a top 10 films of the decade, as I'm calling it. So it's going to be like a top 10 countdown of like some of my favorite horror films that came out in this last decade. And I'm going to be doing the School Live review, anime review. And the last 2, I'm kind of going to keep a secret for the time being. But as you can tell by the background image, one of the videos are going to have something to do with Hong Kong 97, which was a bootleg Super Nintendo game. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not any of the bad remakes. And that's basically all that Weentober is going to offer. I know it's not like how Weentober was before, where I was putting out daily YouTube videos. Like, I was doing a lot of horror games. But if you think about it, it's kind of like I'm doing more this year than those previous Weentobers. Because each of the videos where I'm just like playing a game in those old Weentober videos, the game only lasted like 30 minutes to an hour, right? But every time I'm streaming, I'm going to be streaming for like 4 to 6 hours. Like every night I'm streaming. That's going to be every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm going to be streaming every single Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. But I do want to express this with a caveat. There might be some Saturdays where I don't stream, because while I was thinking of making the best kind of celebration of Weentober for you guys as possible, I kind of forgot to think about myself and specifically my partner as well. And we might want to do something during October and not just like have me be streaming on Saturdays, because Saturdays are usually like the day to go out and do something. So there might be a Saturday, maybe a couple Saturdays in Weentober, where I don't show up, and I will announce that on my Instagram and everything. I will update you guys if that ever changes, and if that does change, that means I'm going to move any stream that I do to November. So sometime in November, I will finish whatever game I was in the middle of. So if I like, let's say like the last Saturday in October, which is probably going to be the Saturday that I take off, I didn't get to finish Resident Evil Village. So I'm going to finish Resident Evil Village in November. It's going to be just like how it was last year, where I didn't finish Alan Wake 2 or Eternal Darkness. So I just like streamed those in November. So anything that I don't end up streaming in October, it's going to be saved for November. So I will finish all these things. I will hold my promise and like finish Weentober as it is meant to be finished and everything. All right. So that's basically, I think, all that I really like wanted to express with Weentober. The official announcement is going to be on Tuesday, September 30th, and then the following Wednesday, which is the very next day, is going to be October 1st, and the first video for Weentober. So hopefully you guys are excited about Weentober as I am. Weentober has always been like a special time of year for me, and I really like celebrating it with you guys. I'm sorry that this is going to probably be the last Weentober for at least the time being. But I guess that kind of like leads into what I wanted to talk about next, is my channel going forward. I know I've already taken several steps back from the channel already. I'm no longer doing daily or bi-weekly videos anymore like I did in the past. I said that I wanted to like focus on myself and to like find a life outside of this and everything, because I've kind of like at this point given up on pursuing content creation. So I'm now considering taking an even further step back from pretty much everything that has to do with my content creation. I think I still want to continue doing the weekly uploads to Instagram, because those don't take a lot of effort. So I don't mind continuing that. And I know like some of you out there do like the Instagram posts. I know there's not as many people who like really care about it as much anymore, but it's a good lookbook for me as well to like go back and look at like the journey, like how far I've come into like this kind of like fashion and everything. But last year I also made like that last stream that I did in December. How do I put this? I mentioned that I'm not going to be streaming as much, and I did kind of like keep that promise. It's kind of a bad promise, but I did like start streaming again in March, and then have streamed at least once every month since. And after Weentober this year, I don't know if I want to like stream at all anymore. Like I keep mentioning this and expressing this. I currently have one viewer like watching this right now. At least that's what Twitch is telling me. I only have one person watching right now, and it really gets to me that like I'm making this content and I'm putting out an effort out there, and not a lot of people are really two, thank you, Vanna. Thank you, Vanna. Yeah, but it's still very few people watching and everything, and it does like kind of degrade my confidence a little bit in wanting to like pursue content creation and everything, because I don't have the kind of audience to even warrant continuing like this. And right now it's really bad for me because I'm not in a financially good place at all. When I was like working with Blondie and everything, it was fine. I wasn't like making a lot of money with Blondie to begin with, but I was making enough to live on. Now that I'm no longer working with Blondie, I have zero income. I have zero income now, and I am kind of in the red too. I actually closed my bank account because that bank kept charging me every month for maintenance fees. I don't know why those maintenance fees were no longer waived, but they did update like their terms to like not seeing. I don't have any new clients currently. I'm still in the process of like talking to people to try to like find some editing work, but it's not working for me. It's becoming more and more clear that I really need to find some kind of work. It's really hard. I can't even afford hygiene and cosmetic products right now. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I got a trim, and I'm never going to do that again because it cost me $30. That's $30 that I really wasn't willing to spend at the time for something that didn't really do a whole lot to begin with. It's getting harder and harder to like spend money on like not only things that I want, but the things that I need. And I have to take a step back from like content creation so it's not clouding like my thoughts running forward. Like I have to like stop thinking about like what am I gonna do for the next stream? Oh, maybe this is a good idea for a video and everything. I have to like take a step back from that stuff and like actually find work of any sort, honestly. Because right now I'm trying to find work as an editor currently so I can continue doing what I love doing and everything. But it's really hard to find like any kind of work. I don't know where else to look, honestly. So I'm probably going to in November. As my funds currently sit right now, starting November, I'm not going to be able to even afford the editing software that I use. I'm not trying to cry. I'm not trying to cry. It sucks. It's hard, but I'm still privileged to like be living where I am now and having like such a loving partner. I have to be like constantly telling myself that I am still blessed to have a roof over my head. And like, if anything, like really is, if I am really in any kind of desperate financial need, then my fiance is more than happy to like support me in that. But I don't want to rely on them all the time. I don't want to rely on anyone. I want to like actually make my own living, you know? I want to actually like make my own living and like put out work that people would want to pay me for, you know? That's why I'm not like an eBay beggar. I don't have a Patreon or anything. Like there are ways for you guys to support me and everything, but I never like ask for that at all, ever. Because like, I'm fine. I'm not a charity. If you guys have the heart to give and you are generous enough to do that, I suggest like using that money for like good causes and not just for someone like me who's just like fooling around on the internet, you know? I want to actually do things and make my own money, so I can't necessarily do that while I'm still pursuing this content creation because it clouds so much of like what I'm going to do next. And I'd rather have that time focused on like finding like work, you know? So for the time being, I don't plan on streaming at all after Weentober. I think after Weentober, I want to do my holiday giveaway. But once all the Weentober stuff is done, like even after like, if it does hang over to November, that's it. That's all I want to do until like perhaps December. As I said again, I do want to in December I do want to do my holiday giveaway stream that I do. I didn't do it every year. The holiday giveaways actually started on Discord, believe it or not. Before I even started my YouTube channel, I used to like, cause I used to like buy Humble Bundles all the time when I had like disposable income at the time. It was like money that I had saved up through college, but I obviously like wasn't using it all. So like sometimes I would just like buy a bunch of games with it, and like Humble Bundle was a great way to like buy a bunch of games and also support a good cause. But then there's like obviously like I had a bunch of repeat codes and everything, so I would like give them out to like my friends every Christmas, every holiday season, and then it moved on to like Discord, where I wanted to do like a big event holiday giveaway. So like I had a Discord that I was very active in, and I talked to like some of the mods there, and they said like, oh yeah, let's put together like an event for like the server and everything. So like we would play Jackbox games, and who would ever win at the Jackbox games, I would just send them the code in Discord and everything. And that's how the holiday giveaway started. Obviously, when I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to like reach out to as many people as possible. I only was giving away 10 games at the time because I didn't think I had the kind of reach back then, obviously. So thankfully, there was enough people who signed up for that original holiday giveaway on my YouTube that I was able to give out all 10 games that I was giving out. And then like I followed suit with the following year. And then the year after that, I think, was the first time I did it live. And I want to do that again. Because I did that again last year, and I've had fun every year doing that. And I want to make sure that everyone gets a game. Like, everyone who shows up in chat for those days. Like, I want to just give, you know? I just want to make sure that everyone has something. So that's why like I love the holiday giveaways, and I do want to do that this year as well. And unfortunately, it's gonna be like last year, where that's kind of gonna be the last stream for the time being. I have no plans for anything for April Fools next year. I don't think I'm going to do anything for that, and that might disappoint a few of you because I have done an April Fools kind of thing every year. The first year I did it on my YouTube channel, I did like a fake ASMR video, and then the following year I did the reacting to nothing for an hour straight, and that's one of my favorite videos on my channel because it's so stupid. And then last year I did the Blondie stream, where I was just parodying Blondie, and that was a lot of fun and everything. But I have no plans to like continue making anything for April Fool's Day next year. And while I might do Play Is Love next year, I don't know. I love doing Play Is Love and everything, but I don't think anyone's going to be there if I just like stop in December and not stream all the way until June. I don't think anyone's gonna show up. I don't think anyone's gonna show up, and that would be really disappointing because like with this last year that I did with Play As Love, I actually got the charity organization that we were raising money for involved in Play As Love. Like I had Skylar Swift Cardon on Cutie Spectives to promote the Transgender Health and Wellness Center, and to equally promote Play As Love as well. So I did get like the charity organization this year actually involved in our fundraising efforts. So that was really, really cool. And it would be awesome to do that again next year as well. But like I said, like if I'm getting a charity organization involved with the stuff that I'm doing, I want to make sure that we're actually raising some money. And I don't see us raising anything next year, since I don't think anyone's going to be around watching me next year for that. So that's kind of still up in the air. I would love to do that again next year, but at this time, I don't see it actually happening. Obviously, like I said, Weentober this year is going to be the last time I'm doing it, so I'm not going to be streaming I don't plan on streaming at all next year during October. Maybe I'll do my holiday giveaway again, but I don't know if anyone's going to watch that either, so it's always in my heart to like want to give and everything, and it's becoming, that was like the main thing that I wanted to do with my content to begin with. I just wanted to like make things to give back to like the community. That's why Cutie Spectives is such my main focus on my main channel right now, is because that was kind of the idea that I originally had going into my channel. But I didn't think like I had like a big platform for a lot of people at the time when I started my YouTube channel. So I wanted to build up a fan base before I started that show, because it's a really important show in my perspective. And I hope that it helps a lot of people within the community to like empower them and raise awareness as well to the community, and to showcase to people who aren't even in the community that we're all people and we're all awesome people. Some amazing stuff comes out of like the LGBT community, and I wanted to express that in this show. And I think we're doing a fantastic job. Like myself and all the guests who have been involved, they've been all so fantastic and everything. And thank you all so much for like watching the videos, leaving comments, and liking the videos, because they're all such amazing guests and they all say something important in those videos. So obviously I wanted to continue doing Cutie Spectives. That's not going anywhere. But as I said, I'm running low on money, and if I don't have any way to pay my editing software in November, I can't even continue Cutie Spectives, and that will be like a detriment to me. So instead of like focusing on streaming, on making like unique videos for YouTube and everything, I'm just going to be focusing on continuing Cutie Spectives, moving forward, and in my personal life, finding work. If anyone is interested in hiring me, obviously I'm an editor with 10 plus years of experience. I've done a lot of things. I've done commercial advertisements, I've done virtual productions, I've done documentaries, I've done so many YouTube videos, not only on my personal channel, but on Blondie Rock's channel, and also on Jib Jab and the Queer Lab. I think we've done, how many videos did I do for Jib Jab and the Queer Lab? That is 19 videos. Okay, that wasn't nearly as much as I thought. But still, I that's another YouTube channel that my work is out there and everything. I have experience doing shorts. I have experience taking VODs from Twitch streams and creating videos out of that. I've done everything from Let's Plays to just chatting stuff, to like personal blogs and everything, to everything that I've done on my YouTube channel. Like every other like kind of like show or format idea that I had, like there's a lot of different things that I've done. I'm very adaptable when it comes to like editing for a certain thing. Like I have a set editing philosophy, but it's very moldable to like any kind of editing techniques that you would like to see in a video. So if anyone's out there hiring me or who is interested in hiring me, and if there's anyone out there who knows like someone who might potentially be hiring an editor right now, whether it be like for a actual film or for like something on a YouTube video, even like if it's like they just want to make like TikTok videos, I can do anything. Send them my way. I have my email publicly, my business email publicly available to anyone who wants to reach out to me. That is neka.kohai@gmail.com. Please reach out to me, you know? Yeah, reach out to me on Instagram even. Like I do reply to like my Instagram messages, even if that takes a little longer. I do apologize. I do try to have a life outside of the internet and everything, even though I based a lot of my life online. I am trying to like take a step back from that stuff and just live life currently. And I haven't been doing the best job at that lately. I have been thinking a lot about like, oh man, this idea for content creation. Like, I think it was during one of my Just Chatting streams where I toyed with the idea of like trying to learn the guitar in 100 days and actually streaming my progress updates and then at the end making a video about it. But like ideas like that I don't really want to continue doing something like that. Right now, I think like spending an hour a day trying to learn the guitar will like impede on me not only trying to make the effort in finding work, but also I haven't been very happy with my weight loss journey currently. I've mentioned this like a few times. I don't know how many times I mentioned it. But I have been like gaining a little bit of weight. It's due to multiple factors. And like I've obviously gotten comfortable in living here and being in a relationship and everything. And usually when that happens, people usually gain weight. And unfortunately, that is the case with me. I used to only eat chicken. That's like the only meat I ever ate. But, you know, since I've been with Kai, they're a big lover of steak. So I ate a lot of red meat. I ate a lot of red meat and I ate a lot of that food because Kai is such an excellent cook. Unfortunately, I have to like stop eating so much of that, and I already have. I've been doing pretty good on like dieting and everything. Exercise, I've been kind of slipping. I've been on and off with my routines and everything. Like I haven't even exercised today. I plan to after this stream. But nevertheless, like I'm still really dissatisfied with like my progression in losing weight. I do come from a family where I'm literally the only skinny person in my family. I'm literally the only skinny person in my family, and I want to continue to be that skinny. Yeah, thank you so much, Vanna. I know I can do it as well. Oh, hey, Clockwork Animal, what's up? So that's kind of like where I'm going right now. Currently, I am continuing with my dieting, and I'm trying to do my best, like keeping up with the exercise. But a big thing that is like keeping the weight on me is stress. I have been so stressed lately. I've been super stressed lately, and it's for like multiple reasons. Like I've already expressed like me not being like financially good lately, and that's been really adding on to like a lot of the stress. Not being able to afford the editing software like coming up is really getting to me, and I've been having like depression episodes quite frequently lately. Hey Jay, sometimes, what's up? And the stress is like built off of me not losing the weight, me not having a lot of money right now, me not having a job, me losing viewership and everything, just dwindling. It's all just snowballing to like a massive amount of stress that I've been dealing with lately. That's another reason why I want to step back from my content creation so I can focus on myself, because I really need it. I really need to work on things. And just like continuing with and trying with this content creation stuff is just not working. Like, it's good to like have something to focus on when it comes to like work and everything. And that's what I do when I'm like really like depressed or stressed. I focus on like doing work. I like put my whole head into like working on whatever I'm working on. So like this Weentober is going to be fantastic. This Weentober is going to be fantastic, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it. But after that, there's not going to be much. I'm going to continue with the Cutie Spectres videos, but that's going to be it. There's a lot of things that I have to work on with myself. You clockwork animal, thank you. I'm trying not to stress myself. I'm not a stressful person. I don't know if you guys know this, I'm a very happy, optimistic person, and I'm still trying to find the optimism in my day-to-day. Obviously, like, the stuff that's going on in America is not helping me with my mental situation and everything. I have a therapist who I see every other week, so, like, don't worry about me, like, needing to see therapy or anything. I do have people who I can talk to. Like, obviously I have my fiance who I vent to every now and then, and my therapist is a wonderful therapist. She's amazing. Like, I kind of would have her on Cutie Spectives, honestly, because she's really good at that. Maybe she might be in the future. I don't think she's LGBT herself, but she is like a strong ally and has really expressed her care for the community. So she would be like a good potential guest, but it'd also kind of be weird to like, hey, here's my therapist, everyone. There's no shame in putting yourself first. Right. Yeah, I would agree. This is something that I've actually talked about in my upcoming guest for this next Cutie Spectives video. We do touch on that a little bit. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to the next Cutie Spectives guest. The guest isn't part of the Weentober celebration, it's just part of Cutie Spectives, obviously, but this person has worked in horror in some aspect, and I really hope you are looking forward to that, because like I conducted this interview back in March, I think it was around March, April, or May. I conducted that interview, so that was way earlier this year, but I saved it for October because this person did work in the horror industry, not like in film or anything like that. You guys, I don't want to spoil the guests, that's what I'm trying to say, but it is going to be a horror related Cutie Spectives, but it's going to be like it's not going to be Weentober, you know? It's not going to be like a Weentober video. It's going to be like a Cutie Spectives video, and it's going to still premiere October 4th on Saturday, and I'm going to make the official announcement the day before like I usually do. I'm going to tell you guys everything there is to know about this person, what they do, and then hopefully you guys check out the video. They're an awesome guest, and I really did love this interview. Like, I love all my interviews. I say that about everyone. But this one in particular is going to be related to Halloween, so it is going to be fun. They're an awesome guest, and I hope you guys check out their work as well. I hope you check out the work of all my guests too, because like they all do such amazing work, and there's a reason why they are on my show, you know? They're all very super talented people, and I love them all. Had some really great people on Cutie Spectives. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, thank you so much, Jay. If you guys didn't check out the Cutie Spectives that I did with Jay sometimes, like, check it out too. I know I mentioned that last stream when Jay and I were like playing Fortnite together. But please check that interview out. Like, check out all the Cutie Spectives videos, because they're all so... I feel that they're all important. They're all like super important. We talk about some like really like good stuff on there, and we have a good time as well. And if you don't want to like sit down and watch the video and everything, because I know it's just like two people talking back and forth, you guys can also check out on Spotify and Amazon Music. Cutie Perspectives is on there as well in podcast form. So if you guys are like going to work or something, or you guys are commuting in any way, like you guys can check out those via podcast and just like listening to them like while you're working, while you're heading to work, while you're in class, even though you shouldn't be listening to Cutie Perspectives while you're in class, but I'm not gonna judge you. I did kind of the same thing. Although it wasn't podcast, it was music. You're just regular, the others. You're amazing too, Jay. Come on. I loved getting to showcase your some of your cosplay on the show, because like I think you do some like great cosplay, and you should like pursue that more. You listen when you're working? Fantastic. See? See, it's a perfect show to like just listen and like chill out to. Because not only is it like informative in certain aspects, but it's also like just like a really casual thing to like listen to and everything. No, thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for like being a guest on there. It was really great to have you. But man, where was I? I always do this during my Just Chatting streams. I get on tangents. Oh man, I kind of wanted to like look back on like some of like the old stuff that I've done, like some of the old Weentober videos, and like maybe some like older videos that I've done, maybe some streams that I've done before for this 100th anniversary special, but I don't know if any of you guys are like interested in that or not. I guess I just wanted to like express what's going on with like the content and everything and moving forward. And I hope sometime in the future I might be in a more comfortable position to warrant coming back and doing some small things. But being a content creator was never my passion to begin with. I always wanted to be a filmmaker, and I do want to pursue that in the end. For the time being, I thought that like being a content creator, maybe I could like make a little bit of money out of that to like save up to like be able to afford taking my driving test and everything, so I could like actually commute to actual locations for like films being shot and everything, because I don't know if I definitely expressed like what my plans in getting into the industry and everything. I do want to be a production assistant and get as much experience behind the scenes on films as possible before I start like wanting to be a writer and director of my own projects in the future. I don't know if I'm ever going to like reach that point in my life, but that is something that I'm still very passionate about and would love, absolutely love if that happened in my life. But YouTube's not the way to do that. And like part of the reason why I like continue with the YouTube stuff to begin with and like made some like kind of like filmy kind of stuff was because like I seen some YouTubers like make some brilliant stuff on YouTube and then actually get into the filmmaking industry through the platform. And I was seeing like if I could do the same, but unfortunately that's not how it really worked out. So I'm going to be like taking that step back for like all those plethora of reasons. And there's probably some reasons as well that I haven't even expressed. But like a lot of things together are all like just bundled up and snowballing down a hill, and it feels like it's getting faster and faster, and I need to do something about it before everything just ends and there's nothing I can do about it, you know? So that's why it's really important for me to like find work right now, find some way to like keep earning some kind of like money, because like I appreciate it when you guys like tip and everything, that's at your guys' discretion and everything. I don't ask for that at all. Like I said earlier, like if you guys are generous and want to use your finances to support something, support like an actual charity organization. Your money will better be handled there, because like those people are very like savvy when it comes to keeping books and like keeping like financial good and using the finances to make good happen. Whereas for me, I might end up spending it on something stupid like, oh man, I'll buy this dress so I can wear it on a stream. I kind of done that in the past. Like, I don't plan on doing that right now. I'm just saying right now, but I have done that in the past where I bought an outfit or something just so I could wear it on a stream or for a video. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There's nothing wrong when it comes to like the actual creation of the content and everything, but it is wrong when I'm trying to save up money currently and trying to like survive. And I can't survive on like, I have less than $100 in my account right now. I can't survive on that for very much longer. So I need some kind of income. I'm doing my best not to spend any money at all. Weentober this year, I have been spending money on that for like some of the games. I did have to buy Lollipop Chainsaw. There's a game that I plan to play on 3 Random Games this year that I haven't bought yet. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale so I don't have to spend as much money. But I'm really excited to play that game and everything and share it with you guys because it is like the 50th anniversary of like the movie that the game is based on. So I don't want to spoil exactly what game it is, but hope you guys are looking forward to that. Nevertheless, I don't need to pay attention to that email. I am like doing my best to find, maybe not my best, I don't know. I am trying to explore different avenues of like actually pursuing editing work. I am reaching out to like several YouTubers who I've known for a while and I love their content and everything. I've reached out to them to see if like they needed an editor. I send them my editing reel, my resume. I'm trying to do my best to find like different avenues for like me to find some sort of work. And it would be a dream come true to work with some of these YouTubers who I've been like following for a long time. And I know for a fact that with my editing capabilities, I can either continue what they're already doing or even elevate their videos formats even more than they already are. And yeah, I would like to like think the same way. I would like to think that like an employer would be lucky to have me as their editor and everything, because I am a very diligent worker. I am very like privy towards just everything, man. I try my best at everything in life, especially when it comes to work. And like my editing work I do take seriously too, even though I like make some silly content a lot. I do have like a specific editing philosophy that I go forward with in anything that I edit, be it a video or a documentary or anything like that, a film. I do have a editing, like, not necessarily technique. I do have a editing style that I like to do, but it comes to like a very minimum part that doesn't really like express in like the final product, because it's a style that's of editing that is very fluid and very well adaptable to any kind of like type of editing that you want in. I think it's called non-sequential editing or something. I've heard the term or a few years back. I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, oh yeah, this is how I like to edit and everything. But I do have also like this editing philosophy, like, you know, you don't want to put too much in a video, otherwise it takes away from the actual things that are happening in the video. If you understand that. If you understand, like, for example, there's this meme kind of going around. It's not like a meme, but it's like a meme format. It's like Gen Z, Gen Alpha humor, where you're showing a clip of something, and like there's so many like editing techniques that are going on, like zooming in, zooming out, like fast forward, slow motion, and then reverse, and then there's like constant sound effects playing, like 100 different screams at once, and then like laughter, and like every stock piece of audio that's ever existed just like completely going on. I don't know if you guys have seen those kind of memes, but they're very messy. And when it comes to like editing, for me, when you put too much of something in a particular piece of work, it ends up detracting from like the very piece that you're working on, the very message that it's delivering. And while some can argue that this meme is just making fun of that, it's like what do you call it? Jesus Christ. So that's another thing. I haven't been eating very well lately. I've been starving myself a little bit, and that's really bad. Like, I haven't even eaten anything today. So like my word things, my words aren't coming out very well. I have a lot of brain fog lately, because I haven't been editing that well. So like, I have a very abundant vocabulary typically, but I'm like losing a lot of words because like it's there. I know it's in my mind, but I can't like express it because I can't think of the word. So that's another thing that I need to like focus on, is like eating better and everything. I think that was a criticism of Michael Bay. Yeah, exactly. Like Michael Bay's it's both in his filmmaking and the editing that goes into it with Michael Bay, because he loves using pyrotechnics and everything, and like just cutting like to like different places and the action and everything, and it kind of feels like a jumbled mess sometimes. But then when it comes like to the editing as well, it's like all very like loud and destructive and everything. It's really good for people who like probably have autism or something. But for the casual viewer, or even like someone who's like as much of a cinema buff as I am, it doesn't always work out. There's some like good efforts in some Michael Bay movies. I will give him at least that much credit, but the majority of his works, I'm just not a fan of his works. But regardless of that, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh my god. Again, I got on a huge tangent. And I apologize for that. I don't know if like I'm expressing all of my grievances that I have been having lately towards my content creation and finding work in general. I don't know if I've expressed those clearly enough, but I hope you guys like understand at the very least where I'm coming from, why I feel like it's necessary for me to step back in these avenues. And I do want to apologize to anyone who has been like a fan of my work for like as long as I've been making it, you know? I don't know how many people are still around from the very first time I started making YouTube videos or even posting to Instagram. I really doubt a lot of those people are still around because at the time I started my YouTube channel, I had I think a lot of the people who like followed me back then were my friends, or at least who I consider my friends. And a lot of those people are I no longer associate with to this day. I can't even watch a lot of like the old videos that I have on my YouTube channel because I did feature my friends on there quite a bit. And obviously I featured my ex on there and definitely don't want to watch those videos. I definitely don't want to watch it. Obviously, I'm not going to like delete those videos or ever remove them because they are a part of like my history and my journey. And there are people who love those like old videos. I'm pretty sure. I do love those videos for them existing. I do love that I got the opportunity to make those videos back then. But the people who were involved in those videos are the reason why I can't watch those videos anymore. Unfortunately. And I've never removed any of my old videos before. Never ever, and I never ever plan to either. I never plan on deleting any videos. All my old videos will always be there for anyone to watch ever. They're archived. And I don't want to pull Lucas and like just remove them and like remake them. I don't want to do that. I don't think that's like a really cool thing to do. But I don't plan on like doing anything like that in the future currently. That I did like early on in my YouTube videos. I want to focus on like making things that are more like of substance. That people would actually actively watch. And things that like spread positivity. Those are things that I like, always wanted to strive to do. I always wanted to like spread positivity with anything that I do. I never want to be negative, and I've been negative very few times on my channel. I have been negative, and I don't like expressing that. I don't like showing that. You know, obviously it's like a normal human emotion to like get like frustrated with a video game or something. So that's why I have made videos in the past where I am yelling at a video game, but in the end it's just a video game. It's just a video game and it doesn't hold any weight like in the future or anything. I am a very optimistic and passionate, happy person. So I don't like to be negative. I don't know if I've ever said this. I might have said this on a stream before. I actually made a video on my channel during Christmas, during the holiday season. How long was that? 2 years ago. Almost 3 years ago. By the way, I've been doing content creation for 5 years, and this is all I have to show for it, so that's like another reason why I'm not like thinking about like continuing this, because I've been doing this for 5 years and it's unsustainable for me pretty much. But 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I released a video called Ranking Bizarre Christmas Songs. And I talk about like all these like these weird freaking Christmas like songs and videos that I found. And like I ranked them in like an order. But that was not the original idea for that week, for that video. It was going to be something completely different. That video, the original video, I even still have the script that I wrote for it. I didn't write a lot because I realized halfway through making the script that I didn't want to be negative. But I had a video in the works called Why I Hate Hallmark Movies. And because it was like the holiday season and everything, I thought it would like be a good time to like talk about like Hallmark movies and why they're so freaking bad. However, I kind of like came to the conclusion like halfway through, like I don't want to be negative on my channel. At that point, the only time I was ever negative on my channel, aside from maybe like getting like frustrated in the Wind Waker randomized series or like any of the other games that I played, like God, Welcome Back Daddy was a really bad game that I played on my channel before. There was one video that I made way long ago. This was 3 years ago. Called The Battle Royale Game I Didn't Like. And it was a video on Super Mecha Champions. And it was just me complaining about the game the entire time for not even 10 minutes. And I don't like that video. I do not like that video. I think that's the only video on my channel that I really don't like, aside from the ones that like have people that I don't associate with anymore involved in the videos. I don't like that because of the people who are involved in them. I still like the videos themselves. I think they are great videos, and like I would say that you could check them out and everything. They still hold up, I feel. I'm just never gonna go back and watch them myself because of those people involved. But that video in particular, Super Mecha Champions video, I really don't like that video. I was really critical and negative, and I didn't really convey properly why I despise the game so much. And it kind of got a lot of backlash. It's my most on the like to dislike ratio. That's the lowest on the like to dislike ratio. It's my most disliked video on my channel. And I don't like it either. So I honestly agree with the people who like let the thumbs down on that video. That was not a good video. It's not a good video. It's just me complaining the whole time, and I really don't like it. And I never want to make another video like that. I never wanted to make another video like that. Every other time I got frustrated with a game following that video, I was literally giving like the game my full attention and effort, and something that I really wanted to like. Yeah, I really wanted to like Super Mecha Champions, but I tried it before playing it on my video. I already tried it before, and I knew I didn't like it. And I went into that video with the intention of knowing I'm going to be playing a really bad game that I'm not going to like. And I'm going to be talking about how much I don't like it. And I really don't like that I did that. And that's probably the only video I regret. There's also the Boku no Pico. The Boku no Pico video that I did, where I cosplayed Boku no Pico at a convention, or I think his name is Pico. I don't think his full name is Boku no Pico. But I cosplayed the character at a convention, and it was really cringy. There was a moment in the video where it's kind of a funny story to reflect on. I actually got to like someone who like just had like a microphone and a speaker and just talking about a bunch of random people, talking to a group of random like weebs and everything. And like in the video, I'm like holding the mic, and like I said traps aren't gay, the dick makes it better. And like I handed him back the mic, and his like expression's really funny and everything. It's a funny moment in the video and everything, but I felt really awkward doing that at the time. I just felt like I needed something to do, something in the video to give it some substance to actually make it a video, because there's no talking. I don't talk at all in the video aside from that one moment. I'm literally just walking around the convention dressed as Boku no Pico and eating an ice cream cone. Cause that's what he does in the anime. The anime, right? Also, I don't like use the word trap anymore. I don't know if anyone, I think we've all kind of like moved past that term. Everyone uses femboy now when it comes to like anyone who's like presenting femme or like cross-dressing or anything. no one even uses trap for like anime characters specifically anymore. I think everyone just uses like, oh, Sopho's the best femboy, you know? Like my trap tier list video is completely like, that's completely outdated now because like that's not even a term that anyone uses anymore. Shows you how long I've been a freaking weeb, you know, right? You've heard people talk about Boku no Pico, but didn't know anything about it. You don't need to watch it. It's a porn featuring a minor character. I like coming clean, telling everyone right now. I know part of the meme of Boku no Pico is like telling people to go watch it, but it's a porn depicting character who is minor. Like it's a yaoi shoujo fantasy hentai, right? While I do like that the anime like has this kind of like romantic kind of subplot and it's kind of well written and everything, I have seen. I did watch it. I don't really recommend watching it though. I wouldn't like actually recommend anyone watching it, but part of the meme is like telling people to go watch Boku no Pico, it's the best anime ever. It's really it's just to screw with people, honestly. And like as someone who likes like shock horror in media and everything, I did like that kind of meme trend to like go show like posting a link to like, oh man, look at this really cool thing, and it's like like a picture of gore and everything, like that kind of like edgy humor, the early 4chan stuff. Like I liked that stuff. All right, I'm oh my god, I'm confessing so much about my history than I ever have on my channel. But when I was a kid in high school, I used to have a Guy Fawkes mask. I thought Anonymous was so cool, guys. I thought 4chaners were so freaking cool and mysterious and everything. Even though they're just a bunch of neckbeards, like, just like chronically online, living in disheveled rooms. But that's like the kind of humor and everything that I grew up with. I never like was into like the aspects of like actually tormenting anyone. I think that is like a really bad thing to do, like actually physically like dox people or like cyberbully or legally harassing anyone. I really think that's like deplorable. I never participating in anything like that. I was just around for the memes, you know, back then. And even nowadays, I'm only here for the memes. If I ever do anything or say anything that's like kind of offensive, I never mean to like be offensive or anything. I try to be as like inoffensive as possible of a person, but I guess like me presenting the way I am and me existing to begin with offends a certain demographic of people, but they're just freaking snowflakes. They're just snowflakes, man. And I am not an easily offended person. I've had so many like threats and everything about my person and everything since I've been on as a content creator, and they don't get to me. I've heard it all by this point. They don't get to me. I'm not an unoffended person. I'm very comfortable with who I am, and I acknowledge exactly who I am, and I know myself better than anyone else ever could. But snowflakes there's snowflakes everywhere, man. Snowflakes everywhere, and they get offended over like the simplest thing, like me existing. If my existence offends you, dude, like you need to work on yourself, man. That says more about you than it does to me. You read a lot of yaoi type stuff? Same. Yeah, they're miserable people, and my heart does go out to those certain individuals. I actually said about this in like the last Cutie Perspectives that happened with Jay sometimes and I. We did like talk about this briefly, that those kind of people, we have no idea what they're going through in life and everything, and if they choose to harass others and they're uncomfortable with like people just existing, like they're the ones who need help. And while it's fun to just like write them off and everything and just call them a snowflake and everything, I really feel like they genuinely need help, because I don't think they're going to live a very optimistic life. It's probably a miserable existence for those individuals, and I do feel on some level sorry for them, actually. I know that's kind of strange for me to say, like the people who would like go out of their way to harass someone like me, like I feel bad for those kind of people, but that's literally how I think, how I feel about those people. Like I do feel sorry for them, that they can't just let people live and find happiness in their life, that they have to like be so miserable to like spread misery to others. I can't follow that mindset, but I'm sure that must be like a horrible life to live. So like I don't wish anyone to be like that. I wish we could all just get along, and that's why the causes that I fight for are so important to me, because like it's not just that like marginalized individuals are having a hard life and everything. The fact is, everyone has a hard life, and there's no need to like spread any like hatred or negativity around the world to like lead people into having such hard lives as well. Like people are having hard lives enough as they are already. I just say like spread positivity, man. Like freaking peace and love, you know? I have been becoming a hippie more and more lately, but it's literally like it's been my philosophy forever, man. Like I am a humanitarian deep down to my core, like above everything. Like yeah, I'm non-binary, yeah, I'm LGBT, yeah, I'm an editor, yeah, I love pink. But bottom line is, I like above everything else in my eye is that I'm a humanitarian, and that I just love humanity, and I love the people. I love everyone. And I want us all as like a collective human species to coexist and find happiness. I want every single person to eventually find their happiness and just live like a good life. Yeah, peace and love. Just be happy. And I'm trying to find my happiness too. Like I've already expounded upon that. Like I have been struggling lately, but I'm also an optimist. So like I know that things are going to eventually like turn around for me. At least in my heart, I hope that with every fiber of my being, I hope that like eventually I find happiness again. I'm still very happy. Like I said, I live in an amazing house. I have an amazing fiance. And those of you who do like watch my stuff, you guys are amazing people as well. And I hope you do also continue to spread kindness and positivity as well. While I am also an existentialist and don't necessarily believe in kindred spirits, I do at least hope in some way that I've inspired those of you who watch my content to spread positivity yourselves and live a happy life and find love. Find your happiness and help others to find their happiness as well. That's all I freaking want in life, man. I just want people to be happy. Like, yeah, I want to be happy too, and that's why I need to step back from the content creation and work on my happiness and elevate that in my own personal existence. But I want others to be happy as well. And I want to continue to like push that and persevere amongst all the stress and stuff that I'm dealing with right now, I need to find my happiness before I can help others. I need to like focus on myself and continue to be a happy individual so that I can inspire others to follow suit. That's always been my goal in life, even as a director, as a filmmaker. Those are the kind of things that I want to make. I don't just want to make cool horror films or cool action films, and tell people what to do. Man, that'd be so awesome. No. I want to spread positivity. I want to spread positive messages in like everything that I create. Even when I was working for Blondie. Blondie has their own like type of edgy humor. Like talking about things like 9/11 and Nazism and maybe even Columbine or something. I don't know. A lot of those jokes that they made on stream, I'm just like, I can't use this in a video. I can't put this in the video. They're usually well-structured jokes and everything, so like my props to Blondie and everything, making like well-constructed jokes to say, and like the punchline is delivered and everything, so the basics of the jokes and everything, like I agree that they are like good jokes and everything, and they would have gone in the video had they not been about some cruel moment in history and everything that I just didn't want to like put out there, you know? Oh, that's great to hear, Clockwork Animal. I really hope like everything like is going good in your life. I don't know much about like your guys' lives because like you guys see everything and I don't see anything about what's happening on like the other end. But I really hope that like everyone who has seen my content in the past or is continuing to watch, I really hope that like they find like positivity in their life and like they continue to persevere with that, you know? Oh man, I've been talking about so many things that I didn't even think I was going to talk about. This is a 100 stream special, guys. I haven't even been talking about like streams and everything. I guess I talked like briefly about that stuff, and maybe I haven't really been focusing on that on this stream, and that's probably why I didn't really do like anything super special this stream either, aside from like showing you guys, hey, look at my progress on my hair. Look at my hair progress, guys. There's nothing really special about this. It just feels like another stream to me, honestly. And while I wanted to like make something like a little bit special, this kind of reminds me of a video that I made when I reached my 100th video on YouTube. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it to you guys because it's not like a full video. It's a YouTube video, or it's a short on my YouTube channel. So this was the video.
It's my 100th video. Woohoo! It's my 100th video. Woohoo!
So after 100 videos, I've now uploaded over 300 videos on my YouTube channel. But when my 100th video here, I'm just gonna do this. There we go, you guys can see that better. When I reached my 100th video that I've ever made on my YouTube channel, I wasn't even at 100 subscribers yet. I was only at 92 subscribers. And then I had that one active community guideline strike was it was one of the first videos that I ever released was the Femboy Reads Lewd copy pastas, and it was a funny video and it was on my channel for a long time, but then it ended up like, I think it had like around 500 views and then YouTube just removed it. and they didn't really specify why they removed it. They said for some like sexual reasons or something, for like sexual content, even though like there was no sexual content to be shown. I think just because how the stories were structured and everything, they talked a little bit too much about sexual stuff, especially the rar nuzzles, that freaking video, that copy pasta. I think that's what got the video originally removed and got a strike on my channel at then. I don't have any strikes, and I have never received a strike since, aside from when my YouTube account was hacked. I did get a strike on. I did actually got like two major strikes on my channel because of those freaking videos that the hacker was putting on my channel. But those were removed. So like I re-uploaded that video, like heavily censored as like just a parody of YouTube doing that to me. With like oh man, they don't even like really say anything when they like take down your video. They just said like, oh, it violates your terms. What part of the video violated the terms? Who knows? They're not gonna tell you. You're gonna figure it out. So I re-uploaded those videos like heavily censored. There were two videos actually. There was that one, and before that, like I received a warning. That was a very lewd Christmas, I think. I think, and then I re-uploaded it as a very YouTube friendly Christmas. That was the first Christmas special I ever did because it was released on Christmas Day. It's YouTube's fault for being hacked. Yeah, that was that's what I was gonna get to after this. But those were the only two like that were actually removed by YouTube. When I got hacked though, that's a different story. But basically, when I did my 100th video on my YouTube channel, I only had 92 subscribers. I wasn't making any money yet. And that's why I kind of like just made this video where I'm just like,
It's my 100th video. Woohoo!
yeah, it's my 100th video. Yay. So what? That's kind of the same philosophy that I'm having right now with this stream in particular. Like, yeah, it's my 100th stream, but like, so? It's just another freaking stream, dude. Like, that video was just like another video, and like, I didn't really have much to show for it, and I didn't think anyone cared. I had the same philosophy with this stream right now. Like, yeah, this is my 100th stream, and I have well over like the amount of followers that I had when I had subscribers on my channel, but like, not a lot to show for it. Not a lot of people like watching. Even now. You're my shining example to live up to. I wouldn't go that far, Clockwork Animal. I'm still a very flawed human being, and everyone is. I don't think perfection is something that anyone can strive for, but that's why I strive for as close to perfection as possible in my work. I can't remember what director said that. I heard a director saying that recently, and it really resonated with me. I'm not perfect. Nothing ever is, but we strive for perfection as close as we can. But I'm human. I make mistakes. I talked about to you guys like the kind of mistakes that I've made already. And I don't recommend anyone seek content creation as like a livable, viable thing for people to like go towards. Maybe if you like really like fight with the algorithm and everything, and if you are a marketable person yourself. I don't think I'm necessarily a marketable person because I avoid drama, I avoid like infighting and everything. I avoid like clickbaity kind of stuff just because that's just stuff that I don't believe in. And bottom line, I have an annoying voice, I look stupid, and I'm non-binary, and a lot of people don't like that. So I don't think I'm a very marketable. Also, like, Neka Kohai, my handle on everything. That's kind of a handle that I'm just married to now. It does not resonate with me at all. And I should probably talk a little bit about that. If you guys remember my MTF documentary, So Far, I did mention this briefly, but to just kind of go over, like, at the time when I was, like, making content, I started with the idea of, like, what should I be named? Because, like, one of my biggest influences was Mark Fishbach, otherwise known as Markiplier. He has a online persona that everyone calls him, like, Markiplier. Everyone knows him as Markiplier. And I wanted something like that to, like, coincide with, like, my content creation. But I wanted something that was 2 syllables, 4 letters long, and something that sounded cute. And around the same time, at that time, I was looking into cross-dressing, and this is why I wanted to put that out there. I was a cross-dresser, and I wanted to make content while I was dressing up and everything, because at the time, I didn't know anyone else who did that. I know Blondie was doing that before me, but I had no idea who that was at the time. God, I kind of lost track. I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, so because I was cross-dressing and I was mostly only doing it as an online persona, I've discovered the term nekama, which is a Japanese term, Nekama. Basically, what it means, I don't think there's like a direct translation of the word, but like its definition is basically along the lines of a guy who pretends to be a girl on the internet. Like, you like people who like pick I think it started out as like an online term for like people who like on games and everything, like online games like MMOs and everything, they would choose the female character and like role play as if they were the female character, even though it's like a guy behind the screen and everything. That's where that term originated from. And at that time, it kind of resonated with me because I just felt like I was a cross-dresser, like dressing up online and everything. So like, a guy who dresses as a girl online, nekama, kind of fit me at the time. So I shortened it to Neka. And that's where the name Neka came from. That's why everyone calls me Neka. That, if you ever wondered what the origin of Neka was, that's it. It comes from nekama, a Japanese word. And the kohai part, originally, it was Neka-chan. Because I was a huge freaking anime nerd. I still kind of am. I mean, you guys can like see all this crap back here. It's all anime and video games. I'm a freaking otaku. So like, obviously Neka-chan was like just the easiest go-to for me for like an online presence. And my original Instagram handle is Neka-chan Archive. If you ever go back to that and look at Instagram, I do link to my old account, my old Instagram account that's now called Neka-chan Archive. Because back then I was only doing that, you know? I was only posting on Instagram. I wasn't doing YouTube or anything like that yet. But then I took like a hiatus, like a break from dressing up and everything. Only for a year later, because COVID happened and everything, for me to get back into it. Because it's like, well, I'm not really doing much, but like just like sitting around and everything. And at the time, I still wanted to do Neka and everything, but like that old stuff, like the Neka-chan CD account that I had, didn't really resonate with me anymore, so I wanted to like have something more marketable. So instead of like having Neka_chan_CD, I just defaulted to Neka_kohai because at the time, like I saw a lot of people using like, oh, Jasmine Senpai or whatever. Like it would be their name and then Senpai, followed by Senpai, you know, because like, oh, I'm like your teacher and everything, right? It's a very anime thing in the community as well. But I feel like I still had a lot to learn about everything, because I'm someone who's constantly learning. So I felt like an understudy of some sorts when it came to that dynamic. So I used Kohai, which is supposed to be like an underclassman when it comes to like Japanese educational culture, I suppose, or like anime freaking weeaboo culture, you know. I should have just like named myself Neka Otaku or something. I don't know. But now, like, since I've made the handle Neka Kohai, I've reflected on myself and why I dress up to begin with and everything so much. And like, I feel like this part of me is inseparable from me now. It is me. It's always been me. It's just now I'm showing it more. And that's when I finally realized, like, I'm not just a cross-dresser. I don't know what I am, but I'm gonna figure it out. And I kept pursuing that, and currently I see myself as being a non-binary, gender fluid individual. And that's what I do. So Neka is not a really name that resonates with me anymore. And Kohai doesn't really resonate with me anymore either, because not only am I getting older, but I'm also like doing things that aren't related to anime or anything like that. I'm like doing cutie spectives and everything, so that's why like at the beginning of every cutie spectives video and at the end as well, I'm no longer going, it's your cutest little Kohai Neka, because I'm not. I'd still like to think that I'm cute. I don't know if I'm the cutest, honestly. I don't find myself as much a Kohai. I'm not really doing anything Japanese related or anime related in general. And I'm not even a Nekama anymore. Especially since I've gone out in public so many times dressed like this. Like, that's just me now. It's no longer a Nekama. That's a very good question. Will I change my handle? No. No, I won't change my handle. While it doesn't resonate with me anymore, and I'm now referring to myself as Jasmine Page more often, you know, I open every video almost with, hello, I'm Jasmine Page. And like, end every video like with, oh, I've been Jasmine Page, and thank you so much for watching, and everything. Just like telling you guys like my real name. It's not my dead name, but you know, it's the name that I've like since chosen for myself. Jasmine is very close to like my original dead name, and Paige is literally just my middle name, but I'm using it as my last name now because I kind of want to distance myself from my family because I didn't have the best upbringing when it came to my family. So like, I kind of just want to not be with my family, not be considered a part of my family, especially since I don't really like keep in touch with them at all anymore. So I'm using my last name and my name which Jasmine came from. I always wanted to have a daughter growing up, and I always knew that I wanted to name her Jasmine. But since I've grown and became more wiser and don't really want a kid of my own nowadays, I don't know if I'll be a responsible parent in that avenue. I always loved Jasmine, so I just gave it to me. I just took it. I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna be called Jasmine now. So, but here's the thing. While I no longer refer to myself as Neka Kohai anymore, or like anyone's cutest little Kohai, I'm still married to Neka_Kohai. I thought about rebranding, honestly. I thought about rebranding and completely changing my handle, but so many people, everyone that knows me as Neka Kohai. And it's so much easier for people to find me because they know this handle already, that if I change it now, there's going to be like old people who like used to follow me and go like, what the heck happened to them? Not knowing that I changed my handle and everything. So while I'm never going to change Neka_Kohai because I'm kind of married to that now, that's just what it means to be a content creator. If you had a handle to at the beginning, you're kind of stuck with it. But I am not going to like introduce myself as Neka anymore. I'm going to keep the handle and everything, but I'm for the majority of the time being moving forward, I'm probably only going to refer to myself as Jasmine Page as my name and everything. I just feel like that's like a more professional thing to do anyways. Neka_Kohai, it's not a very marketable thing or professional for that matter. Whereas Jasmine Page is a little more marketable. It's a little more marketable and 1,000 times more professional. And that's just how I feel like that I should like continue going forward with that. So while I'm never going to change Neka_Kohai, at this moment, that's how I feel. I don't know if I'm going to change my mind in the future and completely change the handle and everything, but currently it's going to continue to be Neka_Kohai, and you guys don't have to worry about like finding me elsewhere or anything. But if I ever do update any of my things, I will like make announcements, make posts on like as many platforms as I can. I've been thinking about getting into Blue Sky and everything, but Blue Sky is like basically a ripoff of Twitter, and I didn't really use Twitter to begin with either. And I don't know if like a lot of people are like following me on Blue Sky, but I have an account there. I just don't post. It's just like Threads. I have a Threads account too, but I don't post. I have a TikTok, but I only post like videos that are like just clips of things that are on my YouTube channel already. Like I've been posting like little shorts on TikTok to advertise Cutie Spectives, just so that reaches as many people as possible. But yeah, I don't really post anything original on TikTok. But if you guys want to follow me there, I'm there too. I'm also on Reddit. I don't post on Reddit anymore. I was posting on Reddit for like a little bit in the past, but just so I can like try to like be a content creator and everything, but I never liked the platform. I never liked Reddit. I like going to Reddit for like pieces of advice sometimes, but I never like posting there myself or commenting in there or at all, because like most people that like interact on Reddit, they're not the most like helpful people, I would say. Like there was this meme that went around. This lady, she would post questions on Reddit and never get a reply. But she changed her strategy where she would make posts of being wrong on the subject question at hand, and someone would come in and correct her with the actual answer. It's like when someone asks a genuine question, no one is willing to answer on Reddit, But if someone is wrong on Reddit, someone is quick to correct them. And that's the kind of platform that is. So I never liked Reddit to begin with. Never. So I made a few posts on Reddit in the past and everything just to like get some attention towards my content and everything. But it was very short-lived, and I don't think it like really like turned into anything, obviously. I think I got the most of my subscribers on YouTube through those shorts that I did where it was cross-dressing confidence. I'm sure a lot of those people were just people who wanted to see cross-dressers dressing up and everything. But in my eyes, my intention for making those shorts was not to like go, oh, look at me, look how cute I look in all these outfits. It was really to inspire other people to come out. Yeah, to correct people. Exactly. That's Reddit culture for you. And that's why I never really liked Reddit to begin with. But those videos were made to inspire. Like that was really the idea behind those videos, was to inspire other closeted crossdressers to step out of the house and everything. Cause like, you're able to do that. If you've ever thought about like cross-dressing or gender fluidity, or you want to like find like explore your femme self more, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. And it is, while I am told that I'm brave for doing things like this, I don't think it should come as a courageous kind of thought for like just stepping out of the house and existing as yourself. I think that should just be a normal thing that people can do. I don't think you should be held in any high regard for like your bravery and courage for stepping out of the closet. No, dude, that's not how we should be looking at this. We should be like, oh, you're out of the closet. Finally, good. We get to meet the new you know? We get to meet like the actual you, not necessarily the new you, because like I feel like there's nothing, like nothing's changed. Like to the core of my being has never changed. I'm still me, and I will always be me. Yeah, I've learned a lot of things, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I've corrected said mistakes going forward in life. So I'm not the same person that I was like even 5 minutes ago, ever. You're never the same person that you once were. People change, and that's a good thing. That's how we should be evolving. Not only as like a species biologically, but also like societally, how we should change. And that's like something that I hope in the future will come to actually view, is that it's not just a courageous, brave thing to like step out of the closet into real life and wear just whatever the heck you want and be who you want to be. That should just be like, that should just be basic, man. Everyone, there shouldn't be anyone who is like segregated for just existing. It should just be a normal, natural thing to be yourself. So that's why I never understood. I appreciate people who reached out to me to say that I have inspired them to like come out more, and like the people who say that I am brave and everything for like just being myself and everything. I appreciate those words and everything, and I hope those people like find in the future that like they can do the exact same thing, and there shouldn't be any, it shouldn't like, it's not really deserving of fanfare in my eyes. I don't feel like I should be like celebrated for like just being me and existing. I think I should just, everyone should just see me for who I am. And people are seeing me for who I am more and more, and that's great. And I appreciate that. I I've come a long way since when I started this journey, you know? Doomed to respect the past, unfortunately, or to repeat the past, unfortunately. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I'll get to that in a second. But I've come so far since I first started. That's why I named that documentary So Far. I say in that documentary that I've come so far, but I know I still have so far to go. It's kind of like a double meaning. Like, yeah, this is the journey so far, but there is still so much more ahead. There is still so far to look forward to. It wasn't the end of a journey, just a chapter in the journey. My book's probably not even halfway finished. Like, the story of my life's probably not even halfway over. Like, there's a very good chance that I might just transition fully. And I have been already, like, seeking gender-affirming care for myself, like getting the electrolysis done, and I still do plan on like receiving a laser for like the body hair as well, and it's great. But I also might start taking HRT in the future. I don't like me with a chest. I've tried those silicone boobies before. I actually have a pair in my closet. I don't like how I look because I mean those were like D cups, I think. I think those are either D or C cups, and I think they look stupid on me. I think I look stupid with boobs. So I don't know if I really want boobs, honestly. But if I ever do like HRT and everything, like, and they start growing, maybe I would like them. I don't know. Maybe like maybe I don't like the padding because it's not me. And it's something that I've always strived to be, like, in not only in my content creation but in life in general. It's like I'm always me. Like, I don't hide behind a mask. I don't wear anything that accentuates any parts of my body. I am me as you see me. And I want to continue to be that. And maybe if I take HRD and I start growing boobies, maybe that's me then. But I don't, at this time, I don't really like boobies, and I hope I don't grow those if I do start HRT. I'm planning on microdosing if I ever start on it, and just seeing where it leads me to. But that's like another thing that I'm going to be potentially exploring in the future. I also even had like plans, like content creator brain again, talking. I had plans for videos and for like my content and everything if I ever came out as trans. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that now. I might just like post about it, like, hey, I started HRT, yay. If I ever like start doing that. But at this time, I'm pretty comfortable, like, just with the like the electrolysis and the laser. While I might start HRT, like, it will be like in micro dosages and everything. But I think before I even do that, like, I want to like be happy and find happiness again, and like find work so I can like afford and be happy. And then once I'm less stressed, hopefully I start losing weight, and then maybe I can like start on that stuff. I also need to focus on like getting my freaking driver's license. I don't think I even told this to you guys, but I actually took my first driving test. Finally, after years of trying to schedule a driving test, like an actual behind the wheel test, I finally did it like just last month. Or it was either last month or earlier this month. And I failed. I failed my first driving test, and it was a huge bummer, which also led to like my disappointment, depression, and stress that I've been feeling lately. But I've since like looked up online, and it turns out 60%, the majority of Americans, actually fail their first driving test as well. So I'm not alone in that aspect. So that cheered me up a little bit. I have scheduled another driving test in November because I'm just too busy in October for that right now. So hopefully in November, I'm going to be taking my second driving test, and hopefully I pass this time and have my driver's license. Freaking finally. I can't tell you guys how long I've been working on that. I've been working on it since I was a teenager, guys. I've been working on it for almost 10 years to try to get my license. And haven't gotten yet. But I'm there. I'm so close, it feels like. I'm so close, and thankfully, like, people have told me that they're proud of me for, like, actually taking the test. At the time, I was very, like, depressed because I didn't pass my first time, but I've since, like, seen that it's actually more uncommon to pass your first time than, failing. No, it's actually, it's more common to fail your first time than pass. Only 40% of Americans, apparently, pass their first driving test, and what made me fail, I was merging into a bike lane and I forgot to shoulder check. It literally made me automatically fail the driving test because I forgot to check over my shoulder when I was merging into a bike lane to turn right at a light. And it sucked to like accidentally like miss that, and because of like one mistake, like the whole test was forfeited. But I'm more aware now that like how important it is to, in every avenue, to like really focus on like shoulder checks and everything else. Also, I didn't know where the emergency brake was on Kai's car when we started, and he was doing like the routine checks and everything. He was like, oh, point to where the blinkers are, point to where the windshield wipers are. He's like, now where's the emergency parking brake? And I look over here, like on the side dashboard between like the driver and passenger seats. And like I was looking for the old parking brake where you push in and like pull it. Kai's car didn't have that. It's a newer car. It doesn't even have a freaking thing where you put the key in. You press a button to turn on the car. And that's different too. I'm used to like driving like older cars because like that's like the majority of like who I've lived with and everything. They had like older model cars and everything. Like Kai has like the newer model cars don't even have like a keyhole anymore. You just press a button now. The parking brake's not here either. The parking brake was like under the steering wheel. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, I don't know where the parking brake is. Now, the old parking brake was a pedal on the left. The handle is newer. Really? Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought it was always the lever, but I guess I'm not that old yet. I didn't know about the pedal. Now it's like under here, like this little thing that you pull, like under the steering wheel. At least for like my fiance's car. But I digress. I don't know a lot about cars to begin with, but I wanted to get my driver's license so I can start working on my motorcycle license so I can get a motorcycle instead. Because they're more fuel efficient and they're cooler too. I know people think I'm probably crazy for wanting a motorcycle and everything, but I've always wanted a motorcycle ever since I was a kid. My family, I actually come from a family of bikers. So like everyone in my family, my grandparents, even to like my dad, they were all bikers. So I did come from a family of like motorcycle enthusiasts and bikers too. I don't know if anyone was ever in like a biker gang before, but because I grew up like that kind of made me like fall in love with like motorcycles and everything. I think they're like so cool. People who do drive motorcycles are kind of annoying though. Literally like the other day, I think it was like literally yesterday, Kai and I were coming home and someone was on a motorcycle, and like as soon as the green light hit, they like sped up and then did a wheelie, and He wasn't wearing any biker gear except for his helmet, dude. That was so dangerous. That's not the kind of biker that I want to do. I don't think that's cool. I think, like, just having a motorcycle and everything is cool in and of itself. You don't need to do any, like, dangerous tricks or anything that can get you in, like, serious, like, physical injuries and everything. So while I do want a motorcycle, I'm not gonna be stupid while riding it. At least that's my plan. But I'm so sorry, Cock Grandma. I told you I'd go back to, what you mentioned earlier. You said doomed to repeat the past, unfortunately. I don't necessarily think that us as a human race are doomed to repeat themselves. Like, people say that history repeats itself, and while that is the case, I don't think we're ever doomed to do that. Because, like, we've come so far as a collective race and everything, that history is as what it is and everything, and there's no changing it, but the future is developing so fast, and it's so much different than anything else. Our current generation is so much more different than anything else that has come before us, that I think it's impossible to be completely doomed to repeat history, as long as we continue to seek, like, education and be aware and mindful of our history, so that things like that aren't repeated again. Like, information is, like, coming at us at so much farther or so much faster of a rate than it ever has, that it would be really stupid if history repeats itself. Again, I'm an optimist, so, like, I believe that most things in life are just going to continue to get better. But who knows? Like, we could, like, end up back in the Stone Age for some weird reason. Maybe a solar flare will happen and, like, completely wipe out electricity and everything as we know it. And now we just have to rebuild, you know? Bikers are wild sometimes. Yeah, they can get loud too. Like, I don't like the people who, like, just continuously rev their engines at a light and everything and make so much noise. That's not the kind of biker that I want to be, you know? And I don't even think, maybe my grandparents and parents were like that. I don't know. Every time, when I was a kid, I was really little and would ride with, my grandpa, or grandma when they would go on the motorcycle, like, be in their back seat and everything, my brother and I. They didn't drive like that. They drove like a normal person, and that was cool. And it was very nice to, like, even though you had the helmet on, like, just feeling the wind on your, like, face and everything, it's freeing, you know? Plus the fact that, like, motorcycles are more fuel efficient. That's, like, a big reason why I want, like, a motorcycle. It'd be cool to get, like, an electric bike and everything, but I don't think the technology is there quite yet for me to, like, want a fully electric vehicle. I don't even know if they make hybrid motorcycles. That would probably be something that I would look into. Because those probably would be, like, even more fuel efficient. That's like the main thing that I want out of, like, a motorcycle or vehicle, anything to transport myself in the future is something that's fuel efficient. Because that's not only does that save me money, but it also helps as much with the environment as possible, you know? But getting back to the point of history repeating itself, like, while it does happen in some minute levels, I don't think, like, the repetition is, like, a one-to-one, you know? Maybe thousands of years in the future, in history books, people are going to look back at moments like this being a doomed repetition of history. But they don't have, like, the full scope. Like, even nowadays, like, with the history that we do know, we don't have the full scope of, like, what actually happened with, like, old ancient wars and everything. Because there's no way of, like, knowing that stuff. But now with, like, the advancement of technology, maybe there are ways of knowing that stuff. And the internet's becoming a cluttered freaking mess of information. And perhaps not a lot of people are going to like want to document every single thing going in the future. There is like a part of the internet that's now considered the deep web, I think, like the like old websites that are like completely abandoned, like abandonware, like websites and everything. Those aren't even that well documented. So who knows if like anything that I'm even making will even be documented or even be able to be seen thousands of years in the future. I think I'm like going off topic again. I'm focusing on myself again. But bottom line with the history doomed to repeat itself. While I am familiar with the phrase and I understand why that phrase exists and everything, I don't think it's entirely I don't think it's entirely a thing to live by, and I wouldn't say that phrase properly exhibits the advancement of our, like, us as a race. At least that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people use that phrase and mean it and really think that that is how like everything's going to advance in the future, like history's just doomed to repeat itself. But I guess it's me being an optimist, thinking that like, no, we've experienced these things and we can grow up from these things as well. Hey babe, what's up? Oh, thank you so much. You were 11 when you had your encounter with a racist. Now you're almost 30 and you were hoping things would have changed. Yeah, like, unfortunately, marginalized individuals and everything are always like a hot button thing. And I think that's just like how the country was founded and everything, with like slavery and everything, and like being an idealized location for the Christian church and everything. Why LGBT people are also marginalized. So like racism and sexism and everything else, they're still present in our current days. I feel like we have advanced since all those years ago, but while I don't see history repeats itself as a phrase that I would say like really resonates with like the advancement of our species and everything, I would say that the phrase "some things never change" is very much more related to our advancement currently. I do, as an optimist, I have no choice but to believe strongly that eventually things are going to get better. But there's still people out there who teach their children very screwed up things. And like, there's children who learn the separation and segregation in their mind. And when those people become leaders and everything, they teach a whole new generation those deplorable mindsets, you know? So I think like the best thing that we can do is like teach the next generation to be more kinder. And we are kind of seeing that more and more in like Gen Z. And I'm not sure if like Gen Alpha is mature enough to like really see that quite yet, because brain rot is like a big thing that people grow up with now. iPad kids are like a new thing. Being chronically online starts from when you're a toddler nowadays. So it's kind of hard to see the advancement of the next generation, how caring it's going to be towards their fellow man or not. But I really believe that Gen Z is much more tolerant and accepting and loving of their fellow man than, say, millennials were. And even millennials are more tolerant and accepting than the boomer generation, you know? I think with every generation, we are slowly getting more and more tolerable and caring about the world, the environment, and other people. But there's always going to be bad apples. There will always be bad apples, and the best way that I do, just to keep up with my optimism when it comes regarding those individuals, I do my best to ignore them. I don't give them the kind of light of day that they are seeking to like harass other people, you know? I just completely ignore it because like they have no say in my life, but I do. Your niece and nephew are iPad kids. Do you have family like get-togethers and like they come to the dinner table and all they talk about is like Five Nights at Freddy's? Oh man, freaking iPad kids, man. I'm so glad that I grew up poor. Otherwise, I probably would have been an iPad kid myself. No, when I grew up with old technology because my parents were too poor for like the new TVs or like the next gen gaming consoles. So like that's why I like a lot of 80s media and everything, because I grew up with that stuff. Even though I was born in the late 90s, I still love like the 80s and stuff, and I love like generations before that. I love old movies because that's the kind of stuff that like my parents watched and that we only had access to because we didn't really have access to like the new stuff or anything. You grew up with old tech. See? Same here. But had a computer and game console in the house, as well as D&D. Oh man, I would have loved to grow up with D&D, man. D&D sounds so much fun. I've never played D&D, like actual Dungeons & Dragons. I played like the video game adaptations of Dungeons & Dragons, but I've never actually sat down and done like a real campaign. I would love to sometime. It seems like a lot of fun. But yeah, we grew up with like old TVs. Like nowadays, the people of my generation won't even know that TVs didn't have remotes, right? They didn't know that literally everything that you need on a streaming service is on like your smart TV now. They didn't know that you actually had to go up to the TV and like turn a dial to like turn it on or adjust the volume or change the channel, and I had like this big chunky click, 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 right? People my generation don't understand what a video cassette is. Like not even just like a VHS in your VCR, but like even cassette tapes. Like I had a Walkman. Or I didn't have a Walkman growing up. I did have like a little radio, like a boombox that you could put like cassette tapes in and everything, and we would listen to like our stuff with that. And obviously like CDs, like my dad was a big audiophile, so like we had a big stereo system and like CDs and everything, and like even the stereo system had a remote. So I guess that's like the only like really like technology savvy thing that I grew up with. But even with like game consoles, like I grew up with like past generation gaming consoles. I was born the same year as the Nintendo 64, and I didn't get a Nintendo 64 until I was 10, I think. And by then the GameCube was already out, right? And like, so I grew up playing the Super Nintendo, even though like everyone else was playing like the next generations. Everyone had a PlayStation. The PlayStation 2 was around the corner and everything. And like, I was freaking like, dude, Super Mario World's awesome, man. This is rocks, dude. Being completely unaware that like 3D video games were like the norm, you know, at the time. Oh yeah, fiddling with the antennas. I do remember that vaguely, but like the rabbit ear antennas, I think like my dad would mostly like fiddle with the technology stuff on that end. I do remember coaxial cables though. I remember coaxial cables because I was fascinated with technology even when I was young. So like I remember like setting up like consoles or like switching out between the console and the VCR via the coaxial cable. And that's like the same place where you like screw in the antenna for like cable access and everything. Oh yeah, Super Mario was great. one of the best games on the console for sure. Probably the best 2D Mario game, honestly. Although Maker was really cool and Wonder looks awesome too. God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we had an adapter. So like we would screw in the adapter into the coaxial port, and then we would have it would be split. So like one end is where like the cable and antenna went into, and the other end was where like the Super Nintendo went into. And you always had to make sure you changed to channel 3 if you wanted to play your Super Nintendo. I sound old right now. I know. I'm not even 30 yet though. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, I'm Gen Z, but like I know about like all this technology and stuff, and I'm a big fan of the 80s because that's what I actually grew up with. I grew up with the generation before me, which is it's so much different than like I feel like a lot of people who are the same age as me. I feel like that's why the majority of my friends that I've made throughout the years and the people who I've gotten along with better have all been older than me. And my most successful relationships have been with people who are millennials. Kai is a millennial themselves. So like, oh, I don't remember rotary phones though. I know about rotary phones. Oh my god, that's so freaking ridiculous that they made like a technology like where you have to like push it in and then like go all the way around with it, like each number. That's so tedious. So we had like landline phones, right? And what dial-up internet was like a thing and everything. But they actually had buttons. And you put it on the receiver and everything. Yeah, I know about home phones. Nowadays, it's all about cell phones. So like, there's no point to have a landline, in my opinion, anymore because of cell phones. There's not even a point to having clocks in your house anymore, in my opinion. So like that's why I'm still a zoomer in the sense that like I don't find like the use of these kinds of technology, because like I even like when people have like watches, I'm like, why the fuck do you have a watch? Why do you have a watch? Why do you need that? Why do you need that? I get smartwatches. They're like a really quick and easy way to like check your notifications and everything and check the time and everything. But like investing in like a watch and everything is so pointless now that everyone has a pocket watch on them. So I have like a Gen Z mentality still of like older technology is like really outdated and there's no reason to like have it to begin with now. However, I still have not nostalgia for that era and those kinds of technology. Kai has a phonograph, record player, not a phonograph but a record player, and a bunch of freaking records. So I like to play some music off that every now and then, just cause it's just a nice feeling to like put on a physical piece of media and everything. I forgot where I was going with that. Okay, I have something called, what was it? When you're nostalgic. I'm nostalgic for an era that I was never a part of. It's called anemoia. It's a term that I learned recently called anemoia. That's when you're nostalgic for a time you never existed in to begin with. So I do very much have anemoia. I'm not a very nostalgic person to begin with. Like, the early 2000s is like a cringy time to me. I don't like look back on those times fondly. While it was cool, like that a lot of cool things happened before COVID and everything, there was a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap and cringe in the early 2000s and everything. But there's a lot of cool things that like happen in like the 80s and part of the 90s and even before that I do hold something that what is akin to nostalgia, and that's called anemoia. I think that's a relatively new term that people have coined. But I think that's very much a thing that resonates with me. And I think it resonates with a lot of people, perhaps my generation, because so many people within my generation, so many Gen Z individuals do like the 80s and everything. Because they're growing up now with like Stranger Things, and the people who grew up in the 80s are now making things based on that era. So it's like bringing like this sense of nostalgia that those people have into like the next generation who never experienced that, and they're like, yo, that generation was kind of fire, right? And that's what anemoia is, and that's something that I very much resonates with me. Like, I do like older technology, but at the same time, I don't think that it's really necessary right now. Like, I think I saw somewhere that like people are bringing back payphones now. I don't know why you would want to like bring back payphones. That's like very much a piece of technology that would just like falter because we have cell phones now. I don't think there's any point for payphones to be a thing anymore. I think that's like ridiculous to like bring something like that back. It's cool to like look back on like the old technology and everything. Like, I love going to the drive-in. The drive-in was like a staple in like the 50s and everything. People would like just stay in their car and watch a movie and everything. And there's still drive-thrus that exist. They're not as prevalent as they were back then. But I love going to the drive-thru, and I feel like that is a really cool thing to like keep around, because the experience is so much different than the experience you'd get just sitting at home and watching a movie, or even like watching a movie in a theater. Like watching it in your car and like bringing in all your snacks or anything, and like still seeing it on a big screen and witnessing it with everyone else in their cars as well is like, it's a fun experience still. And I do love going to the drive-in, especially because it's cheaper than going to like a major movie theater. So there's certain things that like in our like technology history that would be cool to like bring back and everything, but payphones and rotary phones and even watches and pocket watches are, I think they're products of their time. And now we have a product that does literally everything, and everything else is like kind of pointless. Even getting a calculator, like, you don't even need a calculator. There's a calculator app on here. Rotary phones predates touch-tone phones. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't that old, so like I don't think I ever lived in a house that had a rotary phone, but I am aware of those existing. You haven't used a console in years. I use a console every now and then. I have been more of a PC gamer lately, but I grew up on consoles and everything. I like having booting up a physical console, and it's already out there in the living room and everything. However, now that I got the Steam Deck, I'm still just I'm playing my PC games like they're a console, but it's still PC, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that counts at... I don't know if the Steam Deck counts as a PC or a console. It's kind of like a hybrid now. And I feel like that's like the direction that all video game consoles are going towards. After the Switch did that, now everyone's copying it. The next PlayStation portable console is doing that. Xbox is throwing their hat in the ring. I even saw that Atari is making a console like that. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but Atari is actually releasing a console that has 200 Atari games, 200 classic Atari games preloaded onto the thing, and it looks like a freaking Switch. But it just plays Atari games. I think that's cool on one hand, and on the other hand, like, everything is freaking being derivative of Nintendo again. I guess history does repeat itself, right? Oh my god, remember when every console tried to be the Wii? And everyone had their, like, move thing? Yeah, everyone's copying, the Switch now. Oh yeah, you wear Galaxy Watch. See, I understand, like, smartwatches and everything, because it is a quick and easy, convenient way, instead of, like, pulling out your phone from your pocket and everything. But like watches in general that just tell the time and that's all they do, it's kind of useless. Movies and music was better in the 90s. They're good and bad. I think every era has its goods and bads. God, there's this one song that I don't know why I keep hearing it now, but I never heard it before. I heard it recently. And it was a glam rock, like, metal band. I can't remember how the song goes or anything, but I don't know, the way he sings is like, it sounds so weird, and I'm like, this was like popular actually. I don't know why I didn't like the song or anything. Oh, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, I think is the song title. I can't remember the band though. I think that was another 80s. It could have been 90s song. But apparently that was like their one-hit wonder almost. And like I've just been hearing it more and more lately. And I don't know why the heck it started like playing around me lately more and more, but I don't necessarily think that's a good song from that era, even though I love like 80s music and everything. That's why I love synthwave, because it is a new music genre that does take influence from the 80s. But there are good and bad from every era. Like I would say, like I think it was Blood on the Dance Floor. I think they were 90s. They might have been early 2000s, but Kai played me some of their music recently, and they are garbage. I'm sorry if anyone likes that, but they're really bad, in my opinion. And the lead singer is also a known and registered sex offender, and child diddler, so even less of a reason to listen to something like that. But I guess everyone's still listening to Diddy, so. Okay. Sorry, I'm caught up with the chat and everything. I thank you guys for like your messages and everything. I do my best to like read everything that is commented in any video or any post that I make, or I try to read chat as best as I can while I'm streaming and everything. Sometimes I lose focus and forget sometimes, and I do apologize for that. I try to go back and do that as I just did. But even if I miss your messages, like while I'm streaming and everything, the ones that like I'm either distracted when I have like a guest or something, or I'm like intoxicated, like my drunken high streams, I do go back and watch the VODs and like look at and read the messages. Even though I can't reply in real time, just know that any message that you leave me anywhere, I am reading. I do read all my comments, all my messages, everything, everywhere, even on TikTok. Even though I don't interact with the people on TikTok because they're freaking stupid. I don't think like people who like consume TikTok on a daily are the most intelligent people. At least like not the. I'm sure there are out there, but at least not the majority that I've seen. Because like that's where brain rot comes in, right? I guess maybe I shouldn't like think of it as like a measure of intelligence or not. I'm sure they're genuinely smart people who make those kind of comments on TikTok and everything. Like those brain rot kind of comments. And maybe they're just going with the trend. What was the trendy thing to say at these times? Oh, bro has a lot of riz. That's like a trendy phrase to say right now. So I'm going to leave a comment on this because I do believe that this individual has a lot of riz, right? So maybe they're not maybe I shouldn't insult their intelligence or anything. But at the same time, you can't really reply to something like that, right? Like, thank you. I do have a lot of riz, right? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. My generation is weird, but I love it too. I do love my generation. There's a lot of things that like I say that like are of like the generation too. Like while I do have like an old soul and old heart, I feel like I am still born the year that I was born. So I'm still of the generation that I was born in. So like that's just a reflection of living, you know? With TikTok and Insta, I only look at the channels I follow. Yeah, I don't really browse Instagram either. I literally just like look at the people who I follow and everything. And the people who I follow on my Instagram are like who I consider friends or who I've collaborated in the past. So like everyone on that list are like really good people and everything, and I do want to show my support for them and everything. And I give them likes whenever I can, whenever I see their stuff. Spark, what's wrong, boy? Come here. Come here. Come on. What are you doing, dude? Come here. You guys want to see Spark? He's still with me. He's been crazy recently, man. He's been crazy attached lately. I said like when I introduced him on like my streams like a while back that he's just meant to be a foster dog, so we're just fostering him until like his proper owner gets their life together and everything. But this dog has been so attached to me lately. Been attached to me and Kai so much lately. Like when someone else comes out of the room, like he barks. He barks like a guard dog. Cause he thinks he's way bigger than he actually is, but he's so tiny. We have cats in this house that are bigger than this dog. But he doesn't know. I swear he thinks he's a cat sometimes. Because he likes to like try to play with the cats all the time. And the cats just do nothing but like swipe at him or like hiss at him. Sometimes they do play though. Sometimes they actually play with the dog, and it's really funny to watch. But most of the time, he's just playing with dog meat. Yeah, he's a really sweet boy. He's a little bastard sometimes, honestly, because he likes to pee on the ground sometimes. So he's not the most proper potty trained. We're trying to correct that. But he's fine. I think Kai just came home. Come on, I came home. I should probably wrap up here anyways. I thought this was only gonna be like, oh, like it's gonna be like a couple hour stream, and I ended up like talking for 3 hours, like non-stop too. That's just how these streams turn out. But I think I like pretty much said everything that I wanted to like get out. Yeah, Weentober, look forward to that. It's going to be October, and there's literally going to be content every day. I guess I didn't really specify this while like the early Weentober stuff, like the first 3 years I did Weentober were like videos every single day. Last October was only the streams and then the VODs the next day. Technically, with this schedule, I'm releasing new content every single day. Still. Even if I'm not streaming every day. Oh, thank you so much, Clockwork Animal, for the... Is that 1,100 bits? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking with you guys. This is the reason why, like, I wanted to, like, focus on streaming so much, was because I do have a really good time talking with you guys. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are here to talk sometimes, and, like, that sucks, you know? But it is, like, really good when there's people here to talk to, and, like, especially you, Clockwork Animal. Like, you're here, like, almost every stream, and that's awesome. I hope, like, you have things going on in your life, and I'm not, like, taking advantage of your time or anything. Oh my god, what happened? Oh, thank you for the 10 gifted community subs, yeah. Oh, hang on. And Valorant? What? We added 2 gifted subs. Oh, thanks, Valorant. Okay, it's weird. But thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, Clockwork Animal. That's so freaking generous of you. Like, I really appreciate that so much. I really hope you are at, like, a good financial place in your life to want to, like, to support me like that. Like, I never want to, like, take anyone's, like, money when, especially if they're struggling. Like, especially nowadays, like, it's so hard for everyone. Like the game company Valorant. Yeah. I think I saw like a little notification before I went live that Valorant's giving out community subs or something, but I didn't know it was because, like, other people are doing it too. But thank you so much for that, and the hype train and everything. I mean, I never finished, like, the little animations and everything for, like, the hype train and everything. I've never worked on that, and I apologize for that too, but that kind of, like, tells you, like, I was already thinking these things before even now. So I haven't been giving that much, like, attention, because I'm just, like, slowly losing motivation to continue doing this. Yeah, thank you so much. I feel so bad because I'm no longer gonna consider myself really a creator. I'm never going to stop creating, per se. Like, I want to, like, make films and everything, but, like, content creation wise, I want to take a step back from it. But anyways, I was talking about the Halloween, Weentober. This year, technically, there are releases every single day, just like the original Weentobers. It's like Wednesdays, I'm going to be doing the videos and everything, so there's actually going to be videos on my main channel and everything. Obviously, there's also going to be the Cutie Spectives video on October 4th. That's Saturday. Thursdays, Saturdays, and Mondays, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. And then Fridays, Sundays, and Tuesdays, which are the days following, those streams are going to be on YouTube as VODs. So technically, I'm still making content every single day, just like the original Weentober, and that was the vision for the original Weentober, was like spooky content every single day, because I don't know if I ever talked about, like, why I wanted to do Weentober, why I thought, like, daily videos were a good idea. Back in the day, there was a channel called Two Best Friends Play. I'm not sure if anyone remembers this channel. I remember it full-heartedly because it was one of my favorite shows growing up on YouTube. It's really what got me into, like, Let's Playing and everything. And now Game Grumps was also, like, followed suit. And I loved Game Grumps too. Two Best Friends Play was Matt McMuscles and Pat. And they would just be two best friends playing video games together. And it was just like a normal Let's Play channel. But every October, they changed their channel to the Shitstorm of Scariness. And it was so cool. Like every single day they played a different horror game. And I love that idea so much. And then Game Grumps ended up doing Ghoul Grumps. And it was daily horror videos throughout October. And as someone who loves Halloween so much, those events were something I look forward to like all year pretty much, because like those were like my favorite like YouTubers and everything. So when I inevitably made my own YouTube channel, I already had Weentober to begin with. That's something that I called it myself before I made any kind of content. I would only consume during October horror media. I never watched any kind of romance or maybe even like a dark fantasy or anything. Films, video games, everything transitioned to just horror. And I would like consume that all throughout October until November. Thank you for the hype chest, Steam. I don't want that. Let's get out of here. So I already called it Weentober to begin with because like I was celebrating Halloween all throughout October. So like it was incredibly natural for when I made my own shitstorm of scariness or Ghoul Grumps. I was calling it Weentober, and I did, and I made it. And I made it daily videos all throughout October. And it was a stupid idea. As someone who's just one person doing that, daily videos, and I could have just recorded, uploaded, not even have to worry about editing and everything, but I did make sure, like, from the beginning of my channel that, like, my level of editing was at a reasonable place to actually warrant to be watched and everything. There's a lot of channels out there that don't do a lot of editing and everything, and that's kind of like an old way to look at when it comes to like making videos and everything for the internet, especially on YouTube and everything. I feel like editing is a very big necessity if you want to make it like big on the platform nowadays. And that's something that I saw at the very beginning. And because I already knew a little bit about editing and using Photoshop and using Premiere Pro and everything, because I learned that in high school, that's what I mainly focused on. And then I became an editor out of it. Just because I wanted to learn more about editing for the YouTube channel to make it better and everything. Yeah, it's definitely a grind, especially with the algorithm. Because that's like the biggest change that's happened that unfortunately, like, no one has really a really big grasp on nowadays, unfortunately. Especially because Google and YouTube, they are more interested in pleasing, like, their revenue, pleasing actual production companies, pleasing advertisers. So, like, they're more on the side of people who already spend, like, a lot of money. And when you don't have a lot of money to spend, unfortunately, your channel kind of goes to the wayside. And that's kind of what happened with mine. I have the skills. I don't have the marketability. I have the skills and the ideas to make it big on the platform and everything. And I've had my audience that I have now because of those things. But I'm not the most marketable individual. And I definitely don't have like the budget to like create like better ideas or get my name out there further. And a lot of people ask me, why, like, I've seen your videos and everything. They're really cool. Why aren't you bigger than you already are? And that's a question that I've reflected on so many times, like in my YouTube career and everything. All I could tell people was, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm doing everything that I can possibly do to try to like elevate this, promoting myself and everything. Even though I find promoting things annoying. It's like a necessary thing to do. But now, looking back at everything I've done and everything I'm currently doing and how the platform is structured and everything, I think the things that people see are the talent and the ideas and the personality, and those are all like superb and up there and everything. But most people aren't going to find that. Most people aren't going to find my stuff because I don't have the expendable revenue to capitalize on like showing up more. Like sponsored advertisements are now like the big meta on YouTube now for like gaining notoriety on there. And also I'm not very marketable. I'm not a marketable individual, and that's just something that's unfortunate with like how people see me, how people hear me. But this is just how I am. And also like Neka Kohai wasn't a good that wasn't a good handle either. That's not a very marketable handle. So now, going forward, I'm more aware of why I kind of failed as a content creator. And I don't think there's any rectifying it, or there's obviously ways to like rectify it, like never say never. But it's going to be really hard and require a lot of effort. And right now, at this time, my main concern is surviving and like getting work, you know? So unfortunately, that's the main reasons why I need to like stop, put a pause at this moment with the content creation. And I know I keep saying that, but like the Cutie Spectres videos aren't going anywhere. Like the streaming is going to halt almost entirely after Weentober. I might do my holiday giveaway because I do love like doing the giveaways and everything. I do love, plays love, donating to charity or bringing awareness and fundraising for these like charitable organizations. I do love doing both of those things. So I do want to try my best and continue to do that, but it's not going to be my main focus right now. And I'm not planning on doing any other ideas that I potentially had on my content and everything until I find something. Until I find something to give me some, like, going, to keep me going, you know? Kai themselves said I should probably not focus on Twitch as hard as I was doing and just go back to YouTube videos and maybe make some more YouTube videos in the future. I might very well do that in the future. Like, it's not gonna be anytime soon, obviously. I have a lot of ideas for like content in the future and everything. But they mentioned going back to YouTube to begin with because that's where a lot of people know me from. While I started on Instagram, most of my followers are on YouTube. And that's probably where I should be focusing the majority of my time. And it's kind of screwed up and stupid of me to like, right after I finally get 1,000 subscribers, I completely stop making, yeah, ads suck. It was kind of a stupid idea to me to stop making YouTube videos after I just finally reached my super goal of 1,000 subscribers. And then I just like focused, I completely shifted to a different platform. Like, what was my plan there? Well, my plan like then was like, I didn't think I would ever get 1,000 subscribers. So like I already made like the plan to stop making YouTube videos after Weentober wrapped up. And yeah. now I'm kind of wrapping up with the streaming and everything. I didn't get nearly as many followers as I thought I would by this point after 100 streams. But I think I had like a decent sized chunk, and the one thing I can be extremely grateful for are like the close fans that I have. Like you guys, like Clockwork Animal, Jay Cosney, Coffee, Jan. Like there's so many people. Like I can't possibly name all of them. I don't feel like leaving anyone else out either, because there are quite a few people who like really like been following my stuff for a long time and still continue to support me and still watch my streams and everything. And to those individuals, like, I'm super freaking grateful that I have like such like your loyal dedication to like watching like anything that I put out. Like, you guys are like amazing people, and I'm so glad that you guys love like the content, because like I do put a lot of effort into like my content and everything, so it is like really important to me. But nevertheless, I hate to disappoint those individuals as well from taking a step back from my content, but you know, just as like Blondie said in my final video that I edited for them, while Blondie was stepping away from like content creation and everything, well, maybe he'll come back eventually. Maybe. There's always the possibility that I will come back and start making like some cool, really cool YouTube videos. Like, I can't wait to show you guys the stuff that I have for Weentober in those video departments, because they're amazing videos. The scripts are awesome. I have a better camera and everything, so the quality looks a little more sharper. And like the edits that I'm planning to put in to some of the videos are going to be some of the best that I've ever done. Not necessarily like the best, like, oh, crazy edits or anything, but like in terms of like the structure of the videos and how they're edited and presented. The presentation in those videos are going to be really awesome, and I'm really excited to share that stuff with you guys. And it kind of has gotten me inspired to like maybe go back eventually and just do YouTube again. It doesn't have to be like every week, like I was doing it like twice a week or anything, but just every now and then releasing something really cool, I think would be awesome. But I can't do that right now because I don't have like, I don't have money. I don't have money, except for what Clockwork Animal just donated. Thank you so much for like all the gifted subs and the bits and everything. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you sticking around and like commenting like all your comments and chat and everything, and like being in Discord and everything. The Discord is fun. Like, there's not a lot of people in there, but I have fun like posting there and everything, and it kind of makes me miss the days where like I used to just be on Discord all the time. Maybe that's like what I should have been doing, like just going to different Discords and making friends or trying to make connections through different Discords. Maybe that's another thing that I can do. Like, I told you guys, I expressed this, that networking was a big thing that I want to work better on with myself, because that's like really important when you're getting into filmmaking, is networking. And that's what I'm doing with Cutie Spectives. That's a really good avenue to like get more networking done and everything. So I'm trying to do better at networking and everything, and it's going okay. You know, it's a very slow process, but I'm just trying to get out of my introverted self and present myself authentically, and hopefully attracting like more people who are interested in either hiring me or working with me, or like just being friends, you know? Just being people to hang out with. So yeah, I think I said pretty much everything that I wanted to. this stream. There might have been some like things that are on my mind that I haven't really like expressed out there or anything, but like I said, I have a therapist. I don't want to emotion dump on anyone. I that's actually one of my rules in this chat. Like, save any kind of drama that you have for your therapist, because like that's a better platform to like deliver and vent your frustrations in life. It's a very much safer to do that for you as a person. But I want it to be at least authentic, as much as I could possibly be during this stream, and all the content that I really create. Really, I wanted to like come forward and say everything, like give you guys some of my concerns, and I think I did that pretty decently. I hope during this stream. If you guys ever have like any questions like directly to ask me, like obviously like you can do it in chat when I'm streaming and everything, and I try to answer as many questions that you guys have as possible. You guys can like talk to me on Discord, you know, DM me on Instagram. I'm a little slow when it comes to like responding to DMs on Instagram, and I do apologize, but it is that's kind of what the platform is. Like, I am a little hesitant to go on there and reply to messages sometimes, because I have received some bizarre messages from some very horny individuals. And it kind of makes me want to step back from those kind of things, because I'm not... Like, I'm human, obviously. I get horny and shit, but, like... I'm engaged, man! I'm not thinking about having sex with other people, man. I don't want to see whatever pictures you're sending me. But if you have a genuine question, I do still check all my DMs anytime I get them, even if, like, half of them are dick pics or whatever. Those ones I just delete, and if like anyone has like a serious inquiry or like wants to like talk to me or something, I do my best to respond. But Discord's also like cool. Like if you guys like chat in general or any of the other places, I do pop in every now and then and like reply to you guys. So like, the Discord's a fun place. Discord is a fun place, especially if you like animal pictures. Sometimes I post like some pictures of the cats, sometimes I post pictures of the dogs, and I have I believe it's Jan actually posting their pictures of their cats as well, and they're so cute. I freaking love it. I'm like, yes, my Discord finally made it. I have someone else posting pictures of their animals. I'm like, yes. That was I was really excited to be seeing that, and I do appreciate like Jan like posting their animals as well, so it's not just my cats. And if you guys have your own pets that you can post, like drop them in the Discord. Drop your cat pics in the Discord. Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have like presented this stream as like, hey guys, join the Discord, drop pictures of your pets, and I'm going to react to them live. That's what I should have done. Oh man. Let it off if you need to, and I will listen. I really appreciate that, Clockwork Animal. You are a really great person. Like, I do the same thing to like friends and everything, but I don't know if I can do that with like other people. I've done that in the past where I was was people's vents before, but I'm not a professional in that stuff in any sense. So I kind of realized that is sort of a detriment, that I would be responding to those individuals who had problems. And now that's why I tell everyone to go find a therapist if you have some kind of dramatic thing, or if you have something bothering you in your life. Like, seek therapy. That's like a much more healthier avenue to expound any kind of problems that you have in your life. Because like, if you're just telling me, I'm not a licensed professional when it comes to that stuff, so while I will listen, I don't think I can help. Whereas therapy can actually help. If you do want to seek that for yourselves, like, therapy's been amazing for me. I'm privileged enough that like my insurance does cover my therapy, so I'm not losing that anytime soon, thankfully. I am on food stamps, so I am still like getting groceries and everything. But when it comes to purchasing anything else, like especially when it comes to like being able to afford my editing software, that's where like or that my hygiene and cosmetic products and stuff, that's where that's where my concerns are financially at this point. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for like stopping by and listening to me ramble my concerns on the stream. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I just want to be better, right? I just hope that I'm better in the future, and hopefully you guys see me again. Obviously, Q-spectives aren't stopping anytime soon. So you'll continue to see the Q-spectives, and I'll be posting on Instagram and everything, and you guys can reach out to me on Discord and everything. But in terms of like streams and videos after Weentober is over, there's not going to be a lot much else for a while, probably. Because I need to refocus on my life, you know? Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you everyone who stopped by. Thank you Clockwork Animal again for like the 10 gifted subs and the 1,100 bits. Thank you Valorant for the extra 2 gifted subs. And thanks for the hype train. And thank you guys so much for like stopping by. Thank you Jan, Vanna, LibJBK, Clockwork Animal, Yuna, my fiance, who probably put it on the freaking TV at their work like they said they probably were going to. Well, that's a little uncomfortable. I can't stop you from doing that. And I love you regardless. But you can be here if you decide to come back to it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's good to like know that there's still going to be people here if I ever come back. But anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I don't know what else to say instead for see you in Weentober. See you all guys October 1st. Remember, the announcement video is going to happen on September 30th, and please check that out too. Like I put some like really cool work into it. It's like a homage to commercials, like horror commercials from the 80s. So like the like all the visuals and everything surrounding this month or this Weentober is like really cool and stylish. But anyways, I'm rambling again. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I will see you in October. Until then, take care of yourselves and later!